Sorry, guys. I am kind of a little under the weather, so forgive me. I'm sorry. Got a little cold, but God gonna work it out. He gonna work that thing out.
Amen.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chastity Buckley. I'm the host of Midnight R&B Edition, homage Midnight Love BET, where I give out my flowers to all my R&B artists, singers, and songwriters. And tonight is the night, guys. I'm so happy. Y'all know this is my favorite, Mariah. Now, look, Renee and Byron, I'm an honorary lamb tonight. You tried it. I know you did not just go ahead. You tried it. Already in the chat. Tonight is
I ain't got all that now.
I ain't doing all that. That's how you know he's a big lamb. So I'm honorary tonight because I'm gonna give it up to the real lambs in the chat. Shout out to y'all. But tonight is the night where we celebrate Mariah's. Is it her 10th album? Number 10? Album number 10?
Technically, yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Technically,
oh my God, the Emancipation of MiMi. Oh my God, y'all. How do y'all feel today? It's been 20 years today. I can't believe it's been 20 years.
Oh,
my mind's still kind of blank. Yeah. All I remember is We Belong Together, and that was it. All I remember is We Belong Together. I just remember that being played out.
So this time 20 years ago, I was actually working at Universal Music Group as urban college marketing representative, and it was my job to make sure that people were listening to this album. It was my job to make sure that college students were playing. It was light work. I mean, you gonna pay me to do this?
That part.
Yeah. Really? All right, but I just had to make sure that college DJs had it, that we had like events for the release of the album. We did the CD signing at Best Buy in Soho when it dropped. I still have my little credential badge.
Oh my God!
Yeah. I had to dig all this stuff out the crates, but needless to say, this was like one of the happiest periods of my life because I was getting paid to talk about Mariah all day and listen to this great album. And I had like some advanced copies to get people, so I really felt special at that point. But it was just the best. It was the best, and I'm looking forward to the whole conversation and where everybody was when this dropped. But I know where I was, and it was glorious.
Well, ladies first, Renee, how did you feel 20 years ago today when this album dropped? Do you remember, how did it feel when your girl was coming back? What was the excitement for you for Mariah?
I did. A little disclaimer, though, right? Like, we were coming out of the glitter and charm bracelet, where people try to play it, but I liked both. Sorry, not sorry. So
charm bracelet is fire.
It is. And so at first, when it was iTunes, you had the samples, I really wasn't feeling that first. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I don't know, where's it going? And of course, it was all over the radio, right? But my college roommate at the time was like, no, I'm gonna have you burn the CD and listen to it. Played it out more than the Keisha Cole. That's also up on the docket too for 20 years. But I played it way, way, way more to the point where I was walking in the hallway in my dorm at Del State, and she's like, "You really like that album?" Yes, I played it. I sang it. I used to sing it in the dorm bathroom. It was just everywhere for me. Over and over and over again, circles literally. I'm playing the album, okay? Fall 2005, cannot forget about you, okay? Don't forget about us. Even better. Even better. In the bookstore, I bought the Platinum Edition, okay? Platinum Edition CD.
There was about 4 versions.
Okay? I needed
it. So, Bill, how did you... Right, that's what I'm saying, the Deluxe. And that threw me for a look when she did do that. But, Bill, I want to ask you, how did you feel today? Yes, Renee. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, me?
I can hear you. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Me?
Yeah, what did you say? You said
platinum. I just said platinum for platinum. Yeah.
Yeah, she did go platinum. Went platinum 5 times in my house. That's what it was. Look. I have the same question. How did you feel the day Mariah dropped the album? What was your excitement for Mariah? And how did you feel when she dropped the Emancipation of MiMi?
I don't know if I had real excitement, to be honest. Because remember now, we're coming off of Usher's Confession. So you already, the high was already there. The bar was set. But, I mean, it's still Mariah, right? So Mariah's Mariah. And then on top of it, it's Mariah versus Whitney. So, I'm Team Whitney when it's all said and done. But you can't outrun great music. So the music was everywhere. So you can't help but listen to it. And she put us out great music. She's a great singer. She has great songs. So when it was all said and done, you have to add it to one of the classics of all time. It's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic.
So, T, same question. How did you feel when Mariah dropped this album? What was your excitement about the album?
Okay, so when this album dropped, I had fell into the camp of people who sort of wrote Mariah off after this sparkle, glitter, charm bracelet debacle.
Sparkle.
I call it sparkle after the whole glitter thing. But I remember my little sister loving It's Like That, y'all, and playing it over and over again. And initially, because we knew Mariah had the tendency, I'm not going to say Mariah, her record label had the tendency to always put out those remixes to cater to urban audiences. Yep. And I thought this was a remix. I didn't think it was the actual song. But then I saw the video, and then when I saw that the album came out and this was the actual song on the album, I was like, okay, Mariah owned to something. Yeah, so that first single sort of set the bar up here of what was to come. So that's kind of where I was. Like I didn't think that she had it in her to make a comeback after all that had happened. But when she came back throwing punches.
Yes.
I agree with that. And my save the best for last, my love. How did you feel the day when Mariah dropped this album? And how did you feel about the Emancipation of MiMi? Did you feel that, Mariah was coming back?
Yes. I'm kind of with everybody with the whole glitter thing and charm bracelet, but I like both. So it really didn't matter to me. Music is music, but I knew when she came out with It's Like That, and then she came out with We Belong Together, because it came out like a month before the album came out. I was like, oh shit. That's all I said. I was like, oh shit. I was like, she got us lukewarm with It's Like That. And I was like, UT, at first I was like, is this a remix? But I was like, wait a minute, Mariah is taking us back to them jams like she did with Fantasy and did with Honey. So I was like, oh shit. And then We Belong Together. I said, yep, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it the day it comes out. I'm going to cop it. And I was like, oh yeah, Mariah had her green tea and she was ready. Ready for the girls. Ready for every last one of them. She was like, I'm here. Even though her legacy was already kind of solidified already, to be honest. But this was like, don't play with me. This is what I got from this. Do not play with me. I'm Mariah the Carey. Don't play with me. So that's what I got.
Don't play with. You know what's so crazy? And I can tie into that, y'all. Like when Mariah did come out, I really did not see her coming. But when she came, when We Were Gonna Get Her, I said, oh, it's a wrap. I said, my girl that took over 2005. I said, dang it, Mariah, the queen of 2005. I knew it. Because I think for me, guys, back in the 90s, ballads took over #1 charts. And we really, like in the 2000s, I love what Bill said. Like, once Usher came out with Confessions and with you needed like a crunk beat sound. So I was like, man, we finna get some more crunk beat music. We ain't finna have no ballads. That's done. But when Mariah came out with We Been Gone Together, and y'all, my sister is hood. She's hood. She ain't your average regular ballad type of girl. And I'm like, wait a minute. She comes home with this CD talking about, oh, I'm finna listen to Mariah Carey, Emancipation of Me. I said, girl, you don't got this damn album. What are you talking about? So she comes home with it from her homegirl house. And she was like, I want to download because I want to listen to We Belong Together. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So she downloads it and she plays We Belong Together album. I'm like, okay, whatever. I want to listen to this album to see why she's so intrigued. Baby, when we got to It's Like That and We Belong Together, but wait a minute. I said, shake it off. Wait a minute.
That's not I'm sorry.
I said, wait a minute. Shake It Off didn't come out at the time. Not yet. But baby, when we got to Mine Again, I said, right, it's by Mariah owned 05. I said, yeah, girl, you got it. You good. You got it. So when my sister, a person that's like that, listens to Mariah Carey, and one thing I love about Mariah, she relates to everybody, not just whites or blacks or whatever. She relates to everybody. That's what I love about him. But when my sister heard the Emancipation of Me, I said, nah, this hardcore chick, like Mariah.
Had a little tear running down.
She ain't kill nobody, but I'm just like, you don't like hard soft music. So I think y'all, for her to hear Mariah, I was shocked. But I was like, you know what, Mariah? She's the queen. I was like, yeah, bow down to you, girl. I was like, 05 is yours. And I knew once she did Don't Forget About Us on the Deluxe, I said, oh yeah, bye, Mariah. You got it, girl. Like, we're going to give it to you. You have it. That's it. So I just feel like this was Mariah's year. I think, like you said, Bill, once Usher came out with Confessions, You needed a fast track, but I think that Jermaine Dupri effect is the reason why a lot of people don't talk about why the reign of sound did go in 2000s. Like, we always talk about the crunk people who kind of started Little John, which is true. But I feel like Jermaine Dupri, for what he did with music and all the stuff he did with Usher and then to Mariah, just came like a wave to like, yeah, he might be the person to give the sound out to the person with that body of work. So just wanted to put that out there. All right, so we're going to start the questions, y'all. The emancipation of MiMi marked a major moment in Mariah's career, like we said. So I wanted to ask y'all, do you think this was her official comeback album in 2005? Let's see. Renee, we're going to start with you ladies first. Do you think this was her official comeback album? Do you think this was, yes or no?
Absolutely, but it was more like a Reclaim the Throne, right?
I like that.
Because of the massive hit, it stayed on the Billboard for 14 weeks. Okay, and yes, critics loved it, but it was more so reclaiming the throne because we already knew what Mariah could do. Yes, I didn't like Glitter or Charm Bracelet. It was still fab, but she's still letting you know that I had it. Right? I'm coming back to the powerhouse. Don't play with me. We already saw what she could do from Even Butterfly. Like, what are we talking about? Why are we counting MiMi out? And this is MiMi era, which was another side of her that we didn't get to see either, right? But she brought back, not even brought back, she more so, even the image was more sleek and more just like for the time as well.
That makes sense. I love that. All right, y'all, same question. Do you think this was Mariah's official comeback album? Yes or no, sis?
I agree with Renee. I agree with sis. I feel like for her a comeback, what did she need one for? She was already who she was. So it wasn't like she needed a comeback. It's just for the public, for them to say, oh, Mariah, this was her LL Cool J moment. You know what I mean? This was it. Like, it was like, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Like, she has, you know what I mean? So that comeback thing for me, that was for the politics of it all. You know what I mean? So for me, I think it's a reclaim to the throne. It was like, yo, like, I can do this. Like, I know y'all new girls is yin-yanging around the house, but I'm going to show y'all that I can come here and I'm from the 90s and still slay. You know what I mean? And she did. You know what I'm saying? Like, the style was crazy, all of it. So the comeback, I just don't like that word, to be honest with her anyway. But it was a reclaim to the throne. And Mariah, you definitely claimed it with the heels and all. Tiptoed her little heels down the aisle, baby. What?
Right. These chickens are ash and I'm lotion.
Okay. Them chickens are ash and I'm lotion. What?
Mariah came with that. Sound like if, but John, Raggedy Health was sleep. They was coming with the punchlines with R&B. So, Byron, same question. Do you think this was her official comeback album? Yes or no?
I stand with the group. I hate the word comeback. When you look at Mariah's career from 1990 to 2001, she gave you an album every single year.
She sure did.
Every single year, there's a new album, right?
Yeah.
She take one year break, and all of a sudden, there's a comeback. But us lambs have been there all along, like with Glitter and Charm Bracelet. For the true Mariah fans, if you're looking for like some amazing songs, go back to Charm Bracelet. It's like a continuation of Butterfly. Like, that.
Yes.
And to me, that to me is the comeback album, because she had fallen. Of course, she got dropped from Virgin. The movie didn't work out the way it planned. That was the setup. And what that album did was really put her in a position to put this album out, to put her in the line of Def Jam. It collaborated her with Jam and Lewis, Jim Wright. Jay-Z was at the helm over there at Def Jam. L.A. Reid was at the helm over there. So the right people to make sure, because she wasn't going to get that support over there at Virgin. Let's be real.
No,
she was not.
No,
she wasn't. So to me, this is when the world started listening again. But for us, we had already been here this whole time, and we knew that this was in her from the start. So
amen. I love that, Mariah. T, same question. Do you think this was her official comeback? I think you kind of interpreted when you first talked about the album. But what do you think? Do you really think this was her comeback album? Yes or no?
I don't necessarily see it as a comeback as much as, like Renee said, a reclamation. Basically putting herself out there and saying, "I'm still here. I never went anywhere." She'd already been in the game 15 years, and like you said, Chastity, her legacy was already cemented. This right here was just icing on the cake. That's all it was. That's all it was. So to me, no, it wasn't a comeback album as much as it was like, I never left the game. I'm still here, and I'm putting y'all chicks on notice.
She did. She
did.
You know who I think?
I give a damn. That's
I think this might have been a comeback for her to look at Tommy Mottola in the face and say, ha 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 ha.
You know,
yeah,
that's
what was enough
yeah.
for me.
Because there was a lot of sabotage before.
A lot of sabotage.
A lot of sabotage. And you know, and when you look at the video for It's Like That, like the overseer in the video, the husband, if that wasn't Tommy Mottola's character, come on now.
Yes, we all knew.
She's wearing the dress. She's wearing the dress, and
yeah,
she
was throwing
shade. Absolutely.
That whole time period, I think for it, more than anything, this album was the music that she always wanted to make from the start. She always wanted to make this music. I think back to I was recently listening to Jermaine Dupri's episode on Questlove Supreme, and he talked about when him and Manny Seal were working with her to create "Always Be My Baby," and she came in and she brought them the instrumental "Cream," and she said, "I want to sing over this." And Tommy Mottola was in the room, and Jermaine Dupri was like, "You done lost your damn mind. You think I'm gonna record you singing over this?" That was the music she always wanted to create anyway, but the powers that be was like, nah. So she gave us that on this album.
Yeah. Oh, and the fact that Slipping Away did not make it on Daydream is
oh my God! I'm so angry at that. I'm so angry at that. Oh yes.
So Bill, right? Real, do you think this was Mariah's official comeback album?
To quote Jay-Z on PSA, he said, "Allow me to reintroduce myself." That's what she did. She just reintroduced herself to people who, I guess, counted her out, or probably just you got Beyonce coming.
Yep.
Everybody's riding the Usher wave, so she's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
But as she dropped her singles started to come out, she truly dropped an R&B album. This is an R&B album to the beginning to the end. It's R&B. And what's funny is that it could be considered her best album. And you look at, and I don't want to make this an Usher talk, but look at Usher's best album. Who's at the center of both? You got Jermaine Dupri.
True.
I think that the world needs to look at who Jermaine Dupri is, and if you take him and all his music away, that changes the scope of music as a whole. So, is it a comeback album? I mean, we can call it just come back after 3-year hiatus album, but that's what this album is to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was necessarily a comeback album. Like I said, I think Mariah, when she came in, it kind of shocked me. I just felt like, I think when she brought We Belong Together, I was like, ballads are back. Ballads are back. Ballads are back. I'm excited. I'm a ballad person, but not even that, to see Mariah come out, it was just amazing, because she's always been dope. And she's always been a person that loves to do hip hop and R&B together. She always had those marriages. But I feel like with this album, I feel like it was so sentimental to me, because I just love the R&B and I love the ballads. But I feel like all the collaborations she did, and like I'm gonna say it on the show, "Fly Like a Bird" is just, I hate to say, y'all, even though Mine Again is my favorite song in circles, I think "Fly Like a Bird" might be the best song off this album, because I think this really was who she was. She loved God, she loved the Lord. Now, you hear the hip hop, but when I think I heard "Fly Like a Bird," for me, it was just like, this is the serene Mariah, the God. I hear the, we always talk about Whitney has that church voice and stuff like that, but for me, when I hear Fly Like a Bird, that's Mariah in her church bag. Like, I want to hear that forever and a day. I can listen to that for the rest of my life, and I'll be fine. But I feel like Mariah, for this album, it wasn't a comeback. It was just her, just being the queen of what she does. And not even that. And when I knew she didn't win, I said Mariah's number one. I couldn't even, even though I'm a huge Brandy fan, I'm like, damn. Come on, Mariah. Like, damn, girl. Like, really? I couldn't get mad, because I was like, it was hit after hit. It was Shake It Off. I was like, oh my God. I was like, well. And then when she got with Don't Forget About Us after Hurricane Katrina, and for my family to be, happy about that song, I'm like, wait a minute. Not my family. They older than me. How they know about Mariah? I'm like, but I guess she is that girl. So I was like, yeah, Mariah got it. Mariah got it. So I don't think this was a comeback album. It's just her being number one again, like she was back in the 90s. So it is what it is. It was just Mariah just claiming 90s and 2000s. And she had the song of the decade. So, but we'll talk about that, about the Grammys, about her Grammy snub. But we'll all get into that later on.
Oh my God.
Don't even get me started.
We're gonna get in that because I watched it that night. I watched it 2006. I was hot. I was hot because I just knew Mariah was going to win all the Grammys. But we'll get in that later in the conversation. So, Bill, I'm gonna go to you first. So, what do you think made this album so successful? But after the industry has seemingly written her off, what do you think in your personal opinion?
Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri. He again coming off of the Usher's album, he had the formula of what can make iconic album. Put it right back on it. And when you look at that era, you're talking about R&B, you had Usher going crazy, and then you had the Jagged Edges, you had everybody going crazy with art. You had Beyonce, she's getting ready to go wild. She came in at the right time, the right moment. She had the right singles. A lot of times things have to happen at the right time. Like you have to have success. You have to have you have to have the ability to do it, but you also have to have luck. Everything has to happen at the same time and simultaneously. And then once that happens, then you have magic. Because we've seen people with great voices that created great albums, but it didn't go mainstream. It just didn't hit. But then you had everything just has to merge at the exact, like she probably can't recreate this moment. It's hard to, because everything has to happen at the exact same time. But for me, I think Jermaine Dupri, it was the right time. It was the perfect time for whatever happened.
Yeah. T, same question. What do you think made this album so successful after the industry had seemingly written Mariah off?
I think L.A. Reid.
That's what I was going. Yeah,
I'm going to say L.A. Reid because when they brought that album to him, because if y'all remember, the initial single wasn't supposed to be "It's Like That." The first single was going to be one of my faves. Yeah, it was supposed to be "Stay the Night." Yeah. And then "Say Something" was going to be after. They're supposed to be "Say Something," but then that leaked. And L.A. Reid heard it and was like, "Nah, you need something else. This album's missing something." He basically sent her to Jermaine Dupri boot camp. And that's when they came with those singles. And he was like, this is it right here. So shout out to L.A. Reid for listening to that album and saying, it's missing something. But like you said, it's like she caught lightning in a bottle, because if she had released any of those first two songs that I mentioned, we may not be having this conversation right now.
No, we wouldn't have.
Nope.
And I like "Stay the Night," but like JR say and Elise say, it's not single energy. It's not single energy.
No. That's an album cut for real.
Yeah, that's definitely an album. And it would have been, it sort of would have felt like more of the same. We would have been right down that path where Charm Bracelet left us.
I agree.
Just for Charm Bracelet, like you said. And I look at Amari say L.A. Reid, Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox, Manuel Sway, and Big J, rest in peace to him. He's one of my favorites. Played a big role in the creation of Emancipation of MiMi. I agree with that. And James Poyser, a lot of people played a huge role in her body. So, Byron, same question. What do you think made this album so successful, since you was in the realms of everything after the industry had seemingly written Mariah off? What do you think made it so successful?
I think what we didn't mention is Mariah. Shout out to everybody else that worked on this album. But
that's real.
She sounds, when you put this album on, she sounds present. She sounds like in control. She sounds hungry like a rapper on this album. Like when she took that breath before Mine Again, I took off running. Shit.
Mariah did her thing. She did.
She approached every song. I think back, as you said, when I was with the label, all the promotional material said "The voice returns." The voice returns. That was the log line for this album. And the album delivered. Every song, she showed up with everything she had, every trick she had in that throat. She used it on this album, where you couldn't run away from this album, because every song you could put on any station.
Hit.
Hit. You could shuffle this and it still has an amazing impact.
It do, yes.
You know what I mean? There was an interview she did with John Norris when the album came out. She didn't expect this album to have like a big impact, to be honest. Like she said music sales are different. The way people are consuming music is different. right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
back in the 90s when she was running, you would go to the store, you would buy it, physical copies, run out all that, but she didn't think it was going to be this, but lo and behold, here we are, but there was also an opportunity. So yes, we give credit to the architects around the album because there was a lane for someone like her who, we had Sierra and we had, Chris Brown, we had Rihanna and, the new class, if you will, but nobody was singing down on top of those.
That's true.
That's it.
that she was doing, So I think that's what really stood out to me for her. And I think that the best thing that could happen was that that little breakdown that she had, if you will, because it gave her time to work on it. I think everything up to this was like rushed. All her albums had to come out like the year after that. We have that even Charm Bracelet was like a band-aid because they thought Glitter was a flop, So she felt rushed about that album. So this one she had time to really think about it right. Because let's not sleep. Mariah wrote on everything.
That pen game, yep.
And it's working.
Okay, Renee, pen game. What? And I love what Tam said. Tam said the way I stay tonight, mine again in circles to the top of my lungs every time I play this album.
Absolutely.
Mine again is one of my all-time favorites from the Emancipation. The MiMi James boyfriend did a phenomenal job producing.
Yeah, he did.
I agree.
But lastly, the impact of Usher Confession is that people will put money behind R&B, but it's got to be quality. It's got to be quality.
It's got to be the right one, and the right artist.
Yeah, and then the charts at that time were like 50 Cent and Snoop and Lil Jon and T.I. and all, and then we sprinkle like Destiny's Child and Mario had some stuff at the beginning of the year, but nobody was doing what she was doing, and she paved the way for that hip hop collaboration, if you will, So let's go back and dominate. Go back and dominate.
She did. I was like, damn, Mariah, you the queen, girl. You the queen. I can't even get mad at you. Yeah. John, same question. What do you think made this album so successful after the industry had written her off?
That first single. Oh. Mariah had people talking. You know what I'm saying? Like with that single, she had people talking. Because again, everybody knows that Mariah is a ballad girl, right? So we're going to think, oh my God, Mariah's going to give, because I think everybody off Charm Bracelet only thinks about Make It Through the Rain. That's all they think about. That's all they think about. And I'm like, that album is way more than that.
It is.
So much more than that. But they thinking, okay, if Mariah does come out with another album, she's going to do a ballad. Because it's like, this is going to work for her. But to me, it's like Mariah again took it back to when she did Dream Lover for Music Box. That was a big deal. You know what I mean? Fantasy, when she came out with that was a big deal. It was a banger. Honey, banger. Heartbreaker, banger. Like it just, so she said, you know what? I'm going to give y'all this like that. And it's going to be kind of funny. Because come on, Mariah saying these chickens is ass and I'm lotion. Like, that's funny. But the beat is hard and she got so much swag on it. You know what I mean? So you couldn't deny that joint. It's like, oh, people chattering. Like, all right, cool. Then she come to We Belong Together. What can you say? Like, you can't say nothing. Then you come right back with it with Shake It Off. And them the first 3 songs on the album, yo.
Crazy.
It could be the like, come on. Like, it was them singles, yo, that really took Mariah. But like Byron said, it was her. It was like Mariah came on this joint was like, my pen is going to pen, and I'm going to kill y'all with this. If y'all wasn't paying attention before, you're going to pay attention now. And damn sure we did, Mariah. Thank you, MC. She was MC on this motherfucker. It was no Mariah. This is
MiMi.
I still call her MiMi. That, like I said, Mariah, I call her MiMi. I was like, that's MiMi to me, because every time I go to Emancipation of MiMi, that's the one I go to. I run straight to the album. That's the one I go to. All right, and Renee, last one. What do you think made this album so successful after the industry had seemingly written her off?
Timing, tenacity, and talent. Right? So she went back to her roots. right? She went back to her roots with a twist. So we got the pristine vocals, we got the catchy R&B pop blends, we got the emotional ballads. We had Jermaine Dupri, of course, we had Neptunes, and he who should not be named, but we know who it is, the last person, KW, right? We'll just call him that for sure. That, you know, again, brought that modern, fresh take on Mariah without compromising the identity. And it was more so just a glow up, because even from the branding, it was very sexy, very sleek. We didn't have curly hair Mariah, but we had big hair Mariah. We had straight bust down Mariah. You know, it was very cute. And that We Belong Together was just that cultural reset, right? Because it was like, wait a second. This is my lane. I'm here, and I'm. It's not a comeback again. It's a glow up because I'm still a legend. Let the music speak for herself. Let the music speak for itself, and that was great to see as well because she didn't have anything to prove to anyone.
Yeah. I agree, and I think for me, I think the success for me, I was just proud to see Mariah back on top. I don't think it was nothing for me like Mariah was gone. I was like, my girl, she just was number one. And for me, I think for, like I said, for my sister and a lot of us that come from the Hard Knock Lives just be so resonated with this album. I'm like, wait a minute, Mariah Carey. We talking about Mariah the Carey. 90s girl Mariah Carey coming back with 2005 and then We Belong as the ballad of the song of the decade. I'm like, wait a minute, Mariah did not come to play. And so I think when she proved herself with that, I was like, she good. Mariah is number one. I don't even think it was, like I said, in my personal opinion, I'm not the point of, I think they written her off was when she got snubbed for that Grammy. But for me, I feel in my personal opinion for Mariah was she didn't have to prove nothing to nobody. As long as she was with us, that's all I care about. She with the hood. And I'm with that. And I love somebody had said in the comments, they said, would you think that Mariah's career would still be the same if she was with Tommy Solo? Do y'all think it was?
She was with him during this time?
No, they were saying, do you think if she would have stayed with him, you think her career would be the same?
Oh, no.
I don't think so. I don't think so because that video sold enough. And when I looked at that video, I'm like, why does this look like she talking about her ex-husband? And I was 15. Everybody knew. We all knew.
Shoot, she told us in Honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you did say that. See, I ain't catch y'all. You know, I'm not a fan like y'all, but I caught on that, man. I'm like, why is she talking about We Belong Together? Something like she's talking about leaving her. I'm like, well, let me shut up. I'm like, I don't know nothing about music at that time. I was like, I don't know what she was saying. I'm like, I look like I'm free. Bye, bitch. I'm good. I'm good. Bye. Goodbye. Thank you. That's why I'm cool. That's why she's still number one. I don't care. And I'm proud. So I'm like, for me, I don't think it was for me written off. I'm just proud she made her glow up, like Renee said, for her to be out there and on that, like, I'm that girl and I'm dominating, letting you girls know I'm number one. I'm going to always be number one. So I was cool with that. All right. So now we finna go to you, team. Number 3. How do you feel about the lead single, It's Like That? Like you said, setting the tone for this era. And I think you talked about it a little bit. How do you feel like it set the tone? Do you feel like it set the tone for 2005 since we're like all this Crunk and B coming out and then Mariah's coming out with this? I don't even think it was Crunk and B in that way. I don't think Jermaine was trying to be Crunk and B. What do you think? I think It's Like That kind of set for 2005.
Yeah, I think it was. I was 25 when this song dropped. So I was sort of I was sort of at the end of my clubbing days. But I remember this thing used to bang in the clubs, man. Like those traditional Jermaine Dupri hi-hats, and then you had Fat Man Scoop on that joint to get the crowd hype. Like it was the perfect single for this. And JR, you said it, man. I kind of spoke to this earlier, but she gave us glimpses of this earlier on. Like she gave us Dream Lover in the Fantasy remix, and Honey, and Heartbreaker, and Thank God I Found You, the remix, which is so dope, by the way. But you know, again, like I say, this was the type of music she always wanted recording from the start, and this sort of set the tone for what was to come.
Yeah, I agree with that. Byron, same question. How do you feel that the lead single, It's Like That, set the tone for the era?
Absolutely. You know, T said something really important about how back in the day it was an original version, and then you find out there's a remix version when you turn on BET.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
She got praised now.
Yes. I'm not gonna even lie. Like I remember buying like her album. I think it might have been Daydream. Not Daydream. Daydream.
That was Fantasy.
Okay, Fantasy. Let's go. The ODB version gonna be here.
And you heard that chorus, and you're like, wait a minute.
It's not. So the same thing would Always Be My Baby. Nope, not the version with Escape. Not the Jermaine remix.
None of that.
Yeah, the record label wasn't having that because they thought she was gonna alienate her fans.
But what this did by dropping this as the first song, it really set a tone that Tommy was no longer in the picture. He no longer had it.
Yes.
That boy.
We not gonna even do a remix for this. We already got Fat Man Scoop. He gonna yell on it anyway when we put in the club. So let's just get him on it right now. And let's get the party started. It's just one of those anthems. You walk in and just know you got it going on when this song come on. It's just a confidence booster, and that's what this whole album does. It changes your entire mood once you hit play for this album. But to your point, Say Something was the first promo single that we got for this. It had different verses, didn't have Snoop on it. It was very Pharrell, very Neptunes, that was the sound, right? Because Pharrell, Neptunes were taking over at that point, but you lost Mariah in that, so what I like is that she's front and center on this, and she's doing the gimmicks of chickens is ash and I'm lotion, but she's also giving you the throwback. If you are 25 and up and you still got $20 in your pocket waving in the air, there's something for everybody on this track. So I thought it was brilliant. I think Charm Bracelet, they tried the formula of doing the ballad first because they thought that was what people wanted. But no, let's get back to that other Mariah who knows how to create a bop. And we don't need to do a remix for it. Let's just jump out the gate with it. So absolutely.
That makes sense. Gerard, same question. How do you feel about the lead single? It's like that setting the tone for the era of 2005.
I was hyped because I was in the club by this time. So I'm going to college by this time. So I'm hyped.
Forget you, forget Bill, forget all y'all. I'm still in high school. I'm over here.
I'm in the club by this time.
It's my night.
It's my night. Okay?
Whatever.
So they playing this, and that joint just hit. And like Byron said, Tommy was no longer in the picture. Mariah let us know from this first single, y'all, I love hip-hop. I'm a hip-hop head. You know what I mean? Like this what I ain't giving y'all no remix. Y'all ain't getting no remix because the label wanted me to give y'all fantasy and just me, but I wanted ODB. But this, y'all gonna get both, and it's gonna be hood, straight hood. You know what I mean? Like you got Fat Man Scoop, you can't get more hooded than that. You know what I'm saying? Like him on it, being crazy and going nuts like that, and like I like it when she do it live when she was at Madison Square Garden. And she opened that thing with the red dress on.
I came to have a party.
Baby, this single was just a confidence booster. It's like, it was. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here. Like, what y'all gonna tell me? Because it's like that. I'm here. Like, so to bring this out as the first single, I think it was just brilliant, man. It was just, and for the times, it wasn't nobody trying to hear no ballad like that. We trying to party. Like you said, this is crunk and B, quote unquote. So people trying to party. So it's like, no. And then Mariah also has to, and you got to think politics too. She got to, I want to say this right, because Mariah, I know you watching, girl, but I just feel like she had a new audience that she had to cater to. And doing a ballad wouldn't have never got it. You know what I mean? For me, I mean, y'all, we all different because we're older. You know what I mean? We all different and we love music, period. It can be a ballad or not. But you got to get with the times. And this is 2005 and everybody, this reggae sensation is coming in now and all of this. People want to party. So Mariah had to give us that joint to be like, oh, okay, I can compete with this younger audience. And she did. You know what I mean? And then going at them. Because I think she was going with who she was calling the chicken was the girl from the Bronx. But I ain't going to say nothing.
We don't know her.
We don't know her. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't know her.
Mariah knew her in that record. And she said, what did she say? What was the song that she did? She said, my song still was the #1 song of the year. So.
Magic.
Love a boy.
They said the joint was played at every bar, club, and lounge in DC during that time, man.
Listen,
I'm telling you, it's one of the moments where you had to be there. Like this thing knocked in the club, man.
You had to be them. So Renee, same question. How do you feel, since you're the lamb of all lambs, how do you feel the lead single is like that setting the tone? How did you feel when Mariah was coming back? Did you know? Because I heard on her internet thing that, you know, I didn't know she did all that. Like, you and Byron, y'all like the king and queen of Mariah stands. I did not know. Look, I did not know Mariah was doing voice messages. I'm like, girl, you was doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's how you knew she was okay.
Right.
You know? So Renee, like, did you know she was coming back? And how did you feel when she set the tone when it's like that when she was coming out with the first single?
It was a brilliant tone setter because it was more of a vibe shift, right? So it's more like I'm back, I'm unbothered, and I'm having a good time, right? So I'm fun and flirty, I'm free, right? The energy is refreshing. I'm off that Bacardi. What else is new, right?
Yeah, Mariah, for you tonight, girl.
I have Jermaine's appreciated, right?
Yep.
And kind of set the tone for the ballad to come in. So I'm going to hype you up. I'm going to let you know I'm a fun girl. I'm back. But I'm going to floor you with We Belong Together. Because the ballads are still king for me. But that vibe shift was like something new and refreshing. Very sexy and party ready. So that was nice.
Yeah. And Bill, same question. How did you feel when she was coming out? Because I think, too, for me, I'm just going to throw it out there. I think Amory and her, it was brilliant for both of them to come out at the same time. One thing, and it's like that. It was fast records, like boom, boom, boom. So it makes sense. Yep, I see where you're going with Renee. So, Bill, same question. How do you feel about the lead single, It's Like That, when it came out in 2005?
It was a bop. You just bop.
Certified.
Just think about the beat, the production. Like you have to move. You got to bop to it. That's lounge. That's happy hour. That's walk in 20, all you can drink. That's what it was.
It was a good ringtone song too.
Hey,
listen.
T, you almost my age, man. You know how it was back then, right?
I'm telling you, man. That's when we were still dressing business casual in the club. You show up. You got off work.
You gotta have the sweater vest.
Button up, man. Listen.
Hey,
so many vests.
The jeans, the hard bottoms, the sweater.
Byron, you a fool.
Hey,
Mine is a fool. That's why I don't play with none of y'all.
So you really felt that, like you said, fantasy, honey. This was a different route. This wasn't that. This was Mariah's like, no, I'm coming back to my roots. I need to, because you could tell where the other music, the other releases aren't this. This is this is different. So Mariah for sure, like she knew what she was doing, and everybody that was in control, they did it right. Yeah, they did it right.
They did. And I love what my sis said. Hey, sis. She said, don't feel bad about being old. She said, I was 19 in college at the time, and my mom, who was 45 at the time, was jamming to it. Dang, when you have your 45-year-old mama jamming to it, you know that you got a hit. You know you got one. And I think Mariah, she was 35 when she dropped this album, wasn't it?
You're 36,
Mariah was my
36.
age.
Yeah.
Mariah, I wish I was like that.
We do anniversaries, darling. We do
anniversaries.
Darling. Exactly. We Belong Together is a ballad, but the beat knocks. I agree with that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Byron, we're going to start with you. So I want to ask you number 4. Since we talking about We Belong Together, that tied into what we talking about. We Belong Together was named the Song of the Decade by Billboard. What do you think made this song so impactful and timeless around the time when it dropped in 2005?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember, but this came out before the album as well.
Yep.
So I think they were trying both lanes. So if you weren't with the It's Like That, then we got this one to remind you that ballads are alive and well. Absolutely. But I think one of the greatest songwriters of that time is Jonte Austin. I think the magic that he did on this song, and then following up, of course, with Mary J. Blige, Be Without You, and the Chris, like I just see you over there praising.
What the songs me and my family
I was like, my Mary gonna get talked about, baby, but I'm glad that you did it. Thank you.
But you couldn't top his pen. And this song was undeniable. This song was universal. I'm a lamb who still, I go to every Mariah show, every Christmas I'm there, and the room is filled with people in their feels about this song. And that's because there's something for everybody. It covers the bases. If you like the 70s, then it's got If You Think You're Lonely Now. If you like the 80s, then it's got The Deal, Two Occasions. Yep. Exactly. And those who remember Mariah back in the 90s, if you were there, the vocals are there that you need. But it also has this cadence and this flow that's very modern, what's
does.
on the radio today. So it covers all the bases and it satisfies everybody. And it's just a relatable topic. Everyone has been there or been in that situation where they're just longing for somebody, right? So it continues to grow and resonate with people and audiences that experience it. And I've seen people in rooms experience it for the first time and they're like, damn, this is amazing, so it's just a timeless cut that is written beautifully. It's sung amazing. It just goes up and up and up and up and gets better and better, and then that big note at the end, in case you didn't know she could do it still, that note just
she put it right. Yep
takes you right back to 1992 1993, so it's just the perfect storm.
Yeah, it was the perfect storm. JR, same question. So We Belong Together was named the Song of the Decade by Billboard. What do you think made this song so impactful and timeless in 2005?
That second verse. It wasn't nobody having no cadence like that. Yes, like who was it? Yo, today I was listening to the album, right? Driving. I still don't have great breath control for that verse. Like, I'm like, Mariah, how the hell did you do this? Like, I'm still like, I can't even take a breath if you try to take a breath, you messing up a word. So I'm just like,
but she been doing this. She's been doing this since Breakdown. Like this.
Right.
She's been doing this.
That was yes. I'm like, yo, that was almost 20 years ago, and you still doing this? I was like, yo, that just. And like somebody said in the comment, I forgot who it was. It was like, yo, this joint was a ballad, but it had a beat. Like the beat was still hard. Like it was still like hitting you over the head with it. You know what I mean? And baby, they hit us in the head with it. Because baby, this was made on the pop station, on the pop station, R&B, whatever, jazz. They probably playing the instrumental, all of that shit. Like for real, that's how big this
But
song
JR, like I don't remember getting tired of it. And usually,
me either.
No, you can't at all.
No. Like, you will sing your heart out at the end, even though you don't know.
I did. You gotta think about who I was living with. She played it to. I said, "Girl, find another song, girl. Go.
Track 3, shake it off."
Mariah, I love you, girl, but my sister, she's not even a lamb, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no, find another song. No.
Well, I wish, you know who I wish would have listened to the song a little bit more? Oprah.
Oh, she don't never know the words.
There you go.
Oh, what is that?
She was singing Hero. She was singing Hero.
Like, because Mariah went on Oprah and went into, like, sing. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, this is and then you look at Oprah and she...
That was when the hero comes along. That's the hero comes along.
No, this song was what? It ended up being the song of the decade. It was played all the time. How do you not know the chorus? Like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, that's why how impactful this song was. Everybody knew it, but Oprah.
It had to be.
You know what? She know what?
And maybe we didn't know her either.
You know what I mean? So it was just like, this song was just huge and you couldn't deny it. It's a damn good record. Like, you know when a song is a song, it's a song. You know what I mean? And you just can't deny it. And like Byron said, like I said in the beginning, this came out before the album came out. So this made me go get it. Like, even though It's Like That was a jump off and I was in the club, I wasn't drinking yet. But at the end of the but when I heard We Belong Together, I said, I'm going to get this joint because this joint is out of there. And my mom is not even the biggest Mariah Carey fan. My mother's not. She loves Dream Lover, and that's it. My mother, that's it. But when she heard We Belong Together, my mom was like, I like this. I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta get it.
Mariah had hardcore girls listen to We Belong. I'm like, y'all are hardcore.
Yes. So that show my mom.
But I love seeing the thugs now listening to it, singing at the clubs. That's my new favorite.
Exactly.
So for me, to have my mother, and she's hard. My mother, Chassie, my mother is hard.
We don't play.
When it comes to music, for real. And for her to like this, I'm like, okay,
you know,
Mariah, you got one. So I was like, yeah, the impact is about to be crazy. You know what I mean? So Oprah knows the words now. Thanks, next.
Same question. So your girl, We Belong Together is the song of the decade in Billboard history. What do you think made this song so impactful and timeless at the time when it dropped in 2005?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear my name. So, right, the vocals felt like heartbreak, which we all can relate to, whether you're 16 or 60. We've all kind of been there, right? And some of those, who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody better. So, you know, we needed that, right? Yeah. And we can feel the emotion through it. It was relatable lyrics, right? Yeah. We also had even just the way the piano loop and everything that was in there. It's just magical and timeless. You can't get rid of it. It's at a wedding. It's at a karaoke. It's here. I still listen to it today, and I'm still like, even though I can't hit the note, I'm singing that last part. Yeah. We belong together. Okay, you know? I'm right there with you, MiMi, because I need it. Because it's time. And it's just so good.
Shout out to my sister. Shout out, that's your lamb. Shout out to All right, so Bill, same question to you. How do you feel? Because We Belong Together was the Billboard song of the decade, which I rightfully agree with that. That was Billboard's. That you can't deny that. So what do you think made it so timeless and impactful when it dropped in 2005?
I think her vocals one. I think nobody can deny her vocals. I think the first single was more of the I want to show you I can make a bop, but this one was, let me remind y'all, hey, I can sing, and I was singing any one of y'all out the door. But like you said, JR, somebody put it in the chat that it had that knock to it. It had that prototypical Jermaine Dupri hi-hat, that drum kick. Like you know a JD Becox like song because it has that same hi-hat and that bass and snare. So I always can pick their songs out because of that. But again, it's timing. Like it hit right at the right time. She had her club song. She had her Now let me hit you with this ballad, which would be her Burn.
Oh, that's God, let me leave.
He hates Byron. He hates Byron.
You know I don't do it. Byron, you know.
JR.
I get it, though, but no,
you got it bad. You got it bad. Let's say you
go watch my episode.
Right.
Listen, if y'all know JR got some issues with Burn.
Oh my God! Even though I love what it did for him. I love what it did for him. I don't lie.
But JR always don't deny, so I don't get mad at him.
I'm consistent with that one. It can burn for real. But go ahead, Byron. Go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry.
It was the ballad follow up to the single. So that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah. Do you agree for it being song of the decade though, too, Bill? Do you agree with that?
What was that? A decade?
It's a decade. 2000.
What, 2000 or
2010.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. It is.
I do.
Because they rank what's that? Be Without You. They rank that as one of the greatest songs of all time.
Yeah, I heard it.
Rolling Stones or one of them.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It's up there too.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Song of the decade. Yeah, that's Mariah. Yeah, that's they played on Stop Rock.
The Grammy should have saw that.
I don't know.
I knew that. Renee, we talked about our episode. We know what happened with that.
Oh yeah. We know exactly what happened.
All right, so ENT, same question to you. Right. Same question to you. We Belong Together was the song of the decade by Billboard. What do you think made this song so timeless and impactful?
First of all, let me say this. I usually don't agree with a damn thing Billboard has to say when it comes to talking about our music, but they got
about it.
Yeah, they got this one right. It's one of the few instances where I can agree and say, they got this right. Yeah. But like Byron, JR, Renee, it's relatable. Like, how many of us have ever been in a situation where you messed up in a relationship, and then the radio is basically reminding you over and over again how screwed up you are or how you messed this thing up. I turned it down. I try to catch a break, and damn it, here come Babyface. We all. I talked about this on JR and Alicia show, and we talked about Water Runs Dry. That song will always be synonymous with my first breakup. Like, always. Like, and this song is like that for a lot of people that were going through at that time.
Yeah.
Like, everybody can relate to it. And it wasn't just, it was don't get it wrong. It's an unapologetic R&B song, but the pop stations, everybody wore this out. Yeah, but like you said, Byron, I don't see myself having ever getting tired of this song. Like, a lot of times when these songs are being played in heavy rotation, this song's dope, man.
Soft rock. But you know what? And I love that you said that, because now you have my head tingling. Even though, like, everybody knows I'm a diehard Brandy fan, my Heartbreak song was Mariah. And it's so crazy because I feel like now I'm thinking about We Belong Together. It feel like, to me, my personal, I guess my We Belong Together Heartbreak would be my all. It kind of gives you that kind of message in a way. So when I went through my first heartbreak, y'all, it's so crazy. You would think it was Brandy, but it was actually Mariah. So, like, Mariah was my first heartbreak. Like, it was my all. So my all and We Belong Together give me those kind of feels a little bit, the messaging and everything of that nature. But you can't deny it meant a lot to me. But I think, for, like you said, for when you're going through heartbreak, you got to get something out. And I think for Mariah too, I think it was a nod to Tommy Mottola saying "I'm out," bye, because the video was just very, like, obvious who she was relating to, and then having Faison Love as a preacher, really, like, that was a funny tagline in that too. So I think all of it is the little comedy, but at the same time, is Mariah wanted to get the message out, saying that it's okay to move forward and move on, and be yourself. And so that's why I say I love We Belong Together. But shout out to my sister again, and I'm gonna say this, and probably in this whole episode, she is the reason why I know We Belong Together. And anybody in this whole world, she loved that song. Now, and Byron, like you said, once it got to the last part, that's all she wanted. I'm like, you can't even hit the note, girl. Like, no.
Now I have it. Don't do that.
He wanted to play that whole part, and so I'm like,
but she's not alone. Everybody tries it. Everybody tries it.
Everybody fails.
It was like, you know what? It's like, I can't sing no more. It's like that.
There you go.
That's it. That's the Kids Bop. You heard the Kids Bop one? The girl literally coughs on the end because she can't even do it.
I know she did. Yeah, none of us couldn't. Look, her nigga said every damn day. They play every day. 2 years ago, I was on the Satellite Radio. They played We Belong Together. I said, you kidding me? I'm like, come on. I'm like, 2023, we still play We Belong Together. Like, it's
y'all know, the New Yorkers here. You know the New Yorkers here. So you playing it on Hot 97. You're playing it on Power 105. You're playing the joint on Z100, WKTU. You're playing it like all of these. And KTU is a dance station. KTU is a dance station. And they're playing We Belong Together. Mind you, there's no remix yet. You know what I'm saying? There's no remix yet, and they're playing this. Like, it's this song, I have to still listen to it.
And it stands out because the rest of the music was not like that. The rest of the music was not like
no. All right, so Jared, I'm going to you, my darling. So I wanted to ask you.
She gonna be shady, y'all. She asking me the question. Okay, go ahead.
Actually, I was not being shady. I was looking.
He don't like the G word.
The shadiest question in the
but we know how he feels about that.
I wanted to ask you, JR, do you feel Mariah got snubbed at the Grammys of Song of the Year in 2006?
Thank you for starting with me first with this. Yes,
you're gonna close it out. You're the only one
at the Grammys.
Might well be your question.
He just said before this, the song is the song of the decade. How does it not win? I'm confused. The song is what? It was 14 weeks non-consecutively at number one, right?
Yeah.
How the hell it does not win for Song of the Year, Record of the Year, something. Like you knew that it would come on. Like when this song came, it was like, all right, for the Grammys, even though I don't care for them, even though at the Grammys, it's like, all right, Mariah got this. She got record of the year or song of the year or whatever. One of them she better take. You know what I mean? And when she didn't take it, that's when again, politics win. Politics wins. Yep. And it took me back to 96 when she messed with Daydream. She didn't win a damn thing. You know what I mean? How you don't win a thing? Again, going back to one Sweet Day, a song that's number one.
The biggest song of all time.
Weeks, and don't win record of the year or song of the year. Help me out.
But yeah, the gag was, I remember that day like it was vivid. I watched it on TV. And then when they announced YouTube, they played We Belong Together. So I'm like, was this shade? I'm like,
I have no idea. I'm just, for me, and then
it was
adding that to the album of the year too, because Bono got up there and thanked Mariah. Like, that's what made it so. He was like, I really did not expect to win this. He was like, Mariah sounded so pretty that night. You knew that night was dedicated to her. Yep. But y'all know what two things that it can relate to. Because Usher didn't win, and neither did Mariah. And they both had the biggest albums of 2004 and 2005. And who was a part of it? Jermaine Dupri. Who was Jermaine Dupri part of? Janet. Who was Janet getting destroyed by the media? Everybody. Nobody. So all of that tied into play, and unfortunately, Usher and Mariah caught the brunt of it. Unfortunately, they let her know, we're going to let you win the R&B categories that you don't even see her winning. We're going to let her get that, but she has the biggest album of the year and the biggest song. Like, come on, y'all. Like, it was obvious. So,
but Renee, I watched the Grammys for Mariah that day. Yeah, I don't even watch the Grammy, but that day, particularly in 06, I was like, Mariah gonna win, Mariah gonna win, Mariah gonna win. And it was a slap in the face. I was pissed. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, I'm good.
That's why Mariah got to the Soul Train and said, this war matters anyway. So
next. I mean, I wasted 2 hours. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm not really a fan of those. I don't really watch the Grammys
at all.
Same question.
We absolutely. I mean, we put too much on the Grammys anyway.
We did.
But I think that song was meant to be greater than that moment. I think it was for that performance that we saw. That was the reason.
I cried.
That was the reason for that moment, because the way that she owned that and captivated everybody, and we still talking about it
20 years later.
20 years later.
20 years later.
I think that Grammys, we can go over why and all that, but Grammys love you too. They love Bono. That's really what it is. There's a favor there. I only regret is I wish that she would have gotten the televised moment to accept her award. Same thing with Usher. He never got a moment to accept for the biggest R&B album of all time, right?
Ray Charles did.
Don't get me started.
No, but they didn't televise. They didn't televise those areas. At that time, they weren't really focused on R&B the way they
weren't.
Nope, they weren't. They weren't. Yeah, but she definitely got snubbed. But I understand why, because the Grammys are the Grammys, and they like who they like, and it's their peers, and that's what goes down, you know. But I think we got something that we'll always cherish, and that's that performance of "Fly Like a Bird."
And I still cry to this day. Same question: do you feel Mariah got snubbed for Grammys for Song of the Year?
Absolutely. Like, if you look at who was in the category, I mean, like you said, U2.
Hell, I
forgot. Rascal Flatts, Bruce Springsteen, John Legend, and then We Belong Together. Now, I looked up the criteria, and one of the things they tell the voters to look for is quality. Not radio, not radio spins, not sales. They say quality. So if quality is the criteria, then she should have won the dang award. So,
thank you. I'm like,
she absolutely got snubbed. I mean, that was, to me, based on the song, like y'all said, the substance of the song, the lyrics, the relatability, the production quality. This was your winner in that category, hands down.
Damn shame. Ooh, I'm having little flashbacks. Let me stop. Bill, same question. Do you feel Mariah got snubbed for Song of the Year?
Of course. Of course. I mean, they said it was the song of the decade. Like, I can't get song of the year, but they say I got song of the decade.
Yeah.
That's crazy. like, like maybe I got this, maybe the decade, except for that 1 year. I don't know, but yeah, she got snubbed. I was just looking it up to T, like who was all a part of it, but
Got
nah,
y'all doing research.
nah. She definitely should have got it.
Yeah, she should.
Yeah,
Yeah, they I think it was too R&B.
We know what 2 R&B means.
Yeah, we already know what 2 R&B means.
You know what that means.
Urban.
Yeah.
Too urban. Mariah has heard that her whole career. Too urban.
Yeah,
in my personal opinion, we me and Renee on our episode, we did the battle with Mariah with my homegirl. I can't think of her name. It's on there. Sis, I'm sorry if you're in the chat. But they did a battle about this. We did a couple years ago. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
and, we had a good feeling when it was. We realized it to the fact. But Renee, I don't know if you want to reiterate that from when we talked about it. Do you feel Mariah got snubbed in your personal opinion of Song of the Year?
Of course, because they only gonna put MiMi in best contemporary album, best R&B contemporary album, best female vocal performance, and she even had an interview in 2024 where she's like, they scammed me, they toyed with me, so we know where they stand, right? It's like, how, as everyone is saying, how can you say a song is a song of a decade and you're not acknowledging the album as the body of work?
It's weird.
A platinum edition, platinum. What are we talking about?
It don't make sense.
Like, I don't understand that. I will never understand that one. They should have put it on the iPod like they did YouTube song. But anyway.
Again,
I agree.
We see what was going on.
It's a little PTSD for me. I remember vividly I watched it for Mariah because I just knew she was going to win. And the way they tried to do it was so slick. They did YouTube, but then they played Mariah. I'm like, so was she supposed to win or not? And I was so confused. And that's why, like you said, Gerald, Bono did thank her. But I was just really dumbfounded because I'm like, what kind of way is this? And like I said, I knew from the Usher, when Usher didn't win album of the year, I'm like, okay, he got snubbed, screwed, okay, whatever, whoop. But then when Mariah got snubbed, I'm like, okay, this is the same trend over and over. I'm like, something's not right.
Over again.
The math ain't math then. I'm like, it wasn't, because I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I literally watched for Mariah. I was like, really?
And then they had her sitting in the front row. You know what I mean? Like, they're right in the front row.
Her face. I'm like, come on.
And it pissed me off because you knew it was some bullshit because as soon as Bono won, they put the camera right on her. It was like, come on, y'all. Like, come on. Like,
JR,
you bring what the scam is being scammed there. And
you bring that up, JR. It reminds me of the Grammys in '88 when Michael and Prince.
Don't bring that up.
And Michael was sitting front row.
Yeah,
and they played in his face. And I just remember, I'm a kid, and I still vividly remember the look of disappointment on his face when he didn't get Album of the Year, and U2 won for the Joshua Tree. So, I mean, it's as old as day, man. Like, it's like they get fatigue on certain artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like
but I'm like, at the end of the day, it's like Mariah wasn't winning that many Grammys to begin with. So it was like, y'all let her have it. Like, let the girl have it. She won 2, in 91? She got the 2, and then that was it. And the girl was owning the 90s. Like, what are we doing here? Like, and for her to, the comeback that you politics people wanted, you know what I mean? She did it. So grant her that. Y'all, as fans, we're fans here, it was like, this wasn't a comeback for us. We knew she had it. Like, we good with it. So y'all wanted her to have this comeback. Let the story end very well. Let her end. Let her walk up that stage. Even if she didn't get Album of the Year, cool. But Record of the Year, like, let her get that. Like, she deserved that moment. Like, y'all didn't give it to her for one sweet day. God damn it. Give it to her for this. Like, come on.
It was just Mariah. It wasn't even her Boys the Man. It was just Mariah. That's what makes it so bothersome. It just pisses me off. Like, ugh.
But that's why I said I'm not really for the Grammys. I'm glad when she got to the Soul Train, she cleaned up. And like the year before, Usher cleaned up. Where they knew they would belong. You know what? They were celebrated, not tolerated. Catch.
Exactly.
That shit, okay? Look. So Renee, I'm gonna start with you, my darling. So what is, for number 6, what is your favorite song from the Emancipation of MiMi?
Ooh.
And what do you
really asking this question?
Yeah, I am, nigga. But also, what do you consider the best song off the album?
You're being mean.
No, I'm being right. You know, this is my favorite MiMi. I go hard. Now, any Mariah album, this the one like, bitch, don't try me. Don't try me. You know, this the one.
Just like Mariah did.
I'm gonna go off for this one. Don't try MiMi.
I want to know what Renee number 1 is. Oh my god.
Me too.
Oh yeah, I do. I think I do know. I think.
Circle.
Yep.
So that's your favorite, or you think it's the best? Because you know you had 2. It's a favorite and the best.
It's my favorite. The best. Damn. I don't know. Maybe mine again. Maybe Fly Like a Bird. I cannot say
it's hard
because it depends on my mood. I'm just come on right here, maybe. But Circles, listen, underrated gem. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
I wish we had that video, Renee. We don't have our video no more of us.
I know.
That was so iconic. We sung the shit out of. We were just.
Y'all went in.
That whole damn song. Don't play me with MiMi.
Oh my god. And it's relatable because when you're going through it, but just singing and belting it out.
Yeah.
Come on. You just can't. I can't.
Bill, what was your favorite song off the MiMi album, and what do you consider the best song off the album?
Man, you would ask this question.
Yeah, I would.
Ain't she petty?
I'm not petty.
What's funny, I like Stay the Night.
You have to.
I like Stay the Night too.
I like Stay the Night.
I like Stay the Night.
That's a New York track, right, Jay?
Yes.
New York. Coming down.
I think whether we want to acknowledge him or not.
She brought her Long Island all up and through that record.
I'm stomping when I'm walking down the street to that.
Out of all the craziness that this man does, that man is a beast. Carey is a beast. That boy is an
especially during that era.
That was late registration era. That was late registration and that was the college.
Yeah,
that's a Kanye. I didn't want to say that.
It's what you didn't know you needed, right? I didn't know I needed this collaboration, but the background vocals, crazy.
And probably Fly Like a Bird.
Is the best song for you?
Yeah.
Probably. It's probably the best song on the album.
Yeah, I'm classic. Kanye went straight to Stay the Night. That Her Diva says it's a tie between Stay the Night and Mine Again. Yeah, Mine Again is just that one. It's that one. It's hard.
You can make the dream.
It's hard. Mariah knew what the hell she was doing when she threw them damn missiles out on this damn album. I said, girl, you tried it. I can repeat shit. See, same question. So, what was your favorite song off the Emancipation of MiMi, and what do you think is the best song off this album?
My favorite song is Fly Like a Bird. I mean,
Mariah
Carey on every album, she gonna give you an inspirational song.
Talk about it.
Inspirational song.
They all said that.
And to me, knowing what she went through prior to this album being released, it was the perfect ending to the original version of the album. Like, I mean, the song is dope, man. It's inspirational. It gives you hope. Like, I keep this in rotation. I kind of have a playlist of secular inspirational songs, and this is definitely on that list. But Mariah gonna give you some inspiration on every album she puts out. Yeah. As far as the best song on this album, if we thinking Mariah and her career overall, Mine Again, man. I love that song.
What?
I love that song.
That one was hard.
Yeah.
Mariah gave us misses. I couldn't even it's hard to pick your favorite because they are the best because they all every song was just boom boom. I couldn't even skip nothing.
No skips.
Oh yeah, it was.
Carry me higher, Lord. Okay.
Yeah, Byron, your turn. What's your favorite song from MiMi, and what do you consider the best song off the album?
When I don't have time to play the whole album because right? Just set it and forget it. My my essential that I have to play is Circles.
Okay.
It's to me old school 70s vibe.
Yes.
It is Mariah in her bag. It's like the core of the album, like even the aesthetic of the album is very lush.
Yeah.
And to me it shines because it's the live instrumentation on the album that really shines the work that she does with Jim Wright throughout the album on Mine
Oh,
Again and on this one and how
Yes, yes,
I wish I wish you knew also is crazy to do like 7 notes in one run is sickening. But the background vocals on this one I always have to listen to this one. And again, trying to sing it knowing I damn well can't. You gotta go for it. You gotta go for it.
Mine Again and Flower Burgers and Mari's are the top 2 for Emancipation for MiMi. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say love.
And the best song to me on the album is Fly Like a Bird. I'm gonna say Fly Like a Bird. I am someone who loves the club, but I also love the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
And this album takes you from the club on the first track. It runs the gamut, and it closes on a quintessential Mariah circa 1993. MiMi and the Mariah Mass Choir behind her. Take me back when she had Melanie Daniels and the Price Sisters and Trey Friends. Take me back there. I love when Mariah got some black girls behind her, and you can feel that energy on this. And she takes you to church on this one. So Fly Like a Bird to me is a perfect ending. It's like you. I have my little urban soul songs playlist, and this is always on there too. But
I can't deal.
My little urban gospel. But this it's definitely it culminates everything that you've listened to over the last 45 minutes. And Mariah just shows up on that song in ways that you didn't know she still had inside of her, but also that she's always had, because every album has had that inspirational track on it. But it never sounded like this. Never. She was definitely into her Clark Sheehan. This is Mariah Clark Sheehan on this one. Absolutely.
Sleeping man do for a night.
Hold on, guys.
What happened?
Uh-oh, did she freeze up?
No.
Oh, yes.
Did she?
Oh, damn. It would freeze.
Yeah.
Byron, you did it with that Clark Sheehan. Like, you did.
Mariah Carey Clark Sheehan.
God.
Yes, like you killed it with that, yo.
Come on. There was a bomb. There was a bomb.
Hold on.
Yeah.
They need to do like that.
We hear you. We don't see you.
We hear you.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, you moving again.
I think it's just running a little slow, but we can.
Yeah, you good.
We see you moving. You moving. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
This is like that moment when what was that, Teddy Riley messed it up for Babyface?
Oh my gosh.
I was calling his real name. I was like, Theodore, get it together, yo. For real.
You know the contrast between what he was trying to do with what Babyface was doing was so funny.
Oh my God.
And Babyface was like, rapping. I got
Babyface had pajamas on. He doing everything.
Right. Babyface is like, I got on my iPhone 6 Bluetooth.
I'm going to bed right after this.
I gotta go.
Yes.
Babyface pulled out the guitar. Teddy said, no.
All right.
He started hooking up his
camera
his keyboard. Messed the whole stream up.
And my favorite part was that he was like, I don't do remixes. I said, oh,
yep.
That's sad.
Right.
Okay, can y'all see me?
Yeah,
you good. Can y'all see me? Are we good?
You good.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, well, John, we was going with you now because we were asking. You asked what was your favorite song. Did I ask you what was your favorite song from the MiMi album and what was the best?
Good talk.
Yeah, you did.
What was yours?
My favorite song, everybody would think it would be Stay the Night because it's so New York for real. But my favorite song in this album is Joyride. I love Joyride. I love this record. Love it. I love it. Especially when she gets to that bridge. I don't need. Like she goes in. You know what I mean? And I was like, Mariah, like when I first got the album, this was the song that I kept playing over and over and over again. Yes. Yes, I was. It's so
that's New York, obviously. Yeah,
and it's crazy because I was in my dorm room at this time when I got down because I was going to a pre-college thing, and I was in my dorm room and I would that over and over and over, and finally somebody walked up to my room and was like, "You a big Mariah fan?" I said,
"Yeah,
you know, I am." But then they realized when it came to that one, they realized who it really was. But Mine Again, I just love. And Mine Again, another one that I played after that. So I got two. I got Joyride and Mine Again. Those are my two favorites off this album. Like, and they balance. It's crazy, right? I'm in the clubs at this time, but I love the balance. Like, it's crazy, but but I must say, Fly Like a Bird has to be the best song on the album because you knew what it meant to her. And as a fan of Mariah's going to give you that inspirational record. She has been doing it from the beginning. So you knew that she was going to give you something and to speak on what was going on. I guess this was the answer for everybody that counted her out for real. And it was like, you know what? Y'all counted me out, but I know God helped me get through this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm flying like a bird. And like you said, Byron, that performance that we got at the Grammy was just so heartfelt and just like and I'm so glad
she took off running.
That record on the Grammys because it wasn't like it was a single. It wasn't. It was an album cut. Like this is the last song of the album, and she did "We Belong Together," which should have won Song of the Year again, and then she goes into "Fly Like a Bird," and it was just like having the quiet behind her. She looked amazing. Mariah gonna give you a little bit of the dramatics like she does, but it's just that has to be, and it literally one of her best written songs to me. Because Mariah writes, y'all, and literally writes. She makes up words that's in the dictionary. Hello?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Byron. The scores, the queen of I need to call her queen of dictionary too, because I'm like, damn.
Mariah Carey teaches AP English language.
Hello? So those are my two favorite. Mine Again, Joyride, and the best song has to be Fly Like a Bird.
Yeah, my favorites, and I always say this. I told Renee this a couple years ago. I said Circles and Mine Again. It's hard. Them two right there together. I respect the singles, but baby, when we get to them D cuts, bye. I want them.
That's why Mariah gave us the singles in the beginning because she knew once we got to past 3, it was a wrap. Like she knew
it was Mariah knew. But the best song, and I have to say this, and Lord, I hope I don't get teary-eyed. It's Fly Like a Bird. I heard this song in 15 y'all. I said, this is the Lord. I said, this is the Mariah that I love. This is gospel. I was like, I love Mariah as a hip hop and R&B, but her in that gospel, I was like, oh my God, Mariah, you did your thing. That's my favorite. Y'all, I cried when I was 15 when I heard the song. And like Byron said, at the performance, I was like, she doing Fly Like a Bird. I was like, you were going to get saved with that song. I don't care what nobody, like, you're going to get saved. Like, no. You're going to get saved. You're going to listen to Mariah. And like what her pastor said, we may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And then when he said, listen, I said, listen. Oh, baby, I listened to Mariah. Oh, I did that day. I did that day. So that's why I say it's the best. I love Mine Again and Circles. Those are ballads. But when you listen to that, it's like, yeah. So Lord knows if I die, they may be my song. They take me home, carry me home,
And Mariah saying, "Carry me home," right?
Carry me home. I mean, it's just perfection. I mean, for me, I got to see Mariah as a gospel girl. Like Whitney has "I Love the Lord," but this is Mariah Fly Like a Bird. I'm like, this is my gospel Mariah. Like I love her. I like what LaQuivia said. Amen. I always love how she honors the Lord, and yes, to see that on the Grammys was amazing. Yep. That anointing was flowing through her, like, and Michael was man in the mirror, and when it was. I remember that Michael was in his Holy Ghost bag. I said, "Oh yeah." I was like,
I got to shout out Elise. because she loves Fly Like a Bird, so she's gonna be happy at this section for real. Like I'm telling y'all, she's gonna love this part because she loves Fly Like a Bird. That she
is Mariah. This is the gospel Mariah. Like I want to see forever today. I don't care what any. And I know she has her 90s, her anointing, but this is like Mariah gonna get me say.
I think this is kind of her answering herself on anytime you need a friend. Like this is that. Like she like y'all. She needed a friend at that time, and we all know what she was going through during that time. So it was like she needed that. But then now she got to Fly Like a Bird, and she like, God, like you took me through all of this.
Yep.
Like you took me through all of this. I had to go through them, the Columbia years, and then going through the glitter mess, and then going through this, and look, I'm here.
Here's how I got over. Here's how I got over.
Doing that with Make It Happen, Can't Take That Away. Through the Rain. Anytime
friend,
Yes.
Yes. So this was her. She needed that. And I think I saw an interview with Mariah said she was like, I was happy the album was done. Like she was like, I was happy that the album, it didn't have to sell because like Byron said, I think I know what interview he's talking about, but she didn't was like, I don't think that I'm gonna do it's gonna do whatever it does. And I don't think she thought it was going to blow up the way it did. But again, when music is that damn good, it just is what it is. And when it's because you can tell this album came from Mariah's heart for real. That's why it reached the heart to us. And that's why it reached everybody. You know what I mean? So and then to end it with Fly Like a Bird, like what can you say?
He was a phoenix that rose from the ashes, and that's why I say maybe this will forever be my number one Mariah. Like I will run to this album forever with her. Like I just love it. MiMi did her thing. Bill, I gotta go to you first, my darling. So number 7, how do you think this album blends Mariah's classic sound with more modern R&B influences? And how would you compare her sound from the 90s to the 2000s? So do you think it was a difference? Yes or no? Or how do you compare the two from the 90s from, I guess, from MiMi at the time?
Yeah, I think that she had to evolve.
Oh, fine, Bill.
I thought you said B. You said B. I'm so sorry. No, you said B.
Look, I'm gonna come back to you. I promise. You're gonna take the first one for number 8. I promise. I got you. I got you, Bill.
Well, her vocals are her vocals, so that's it is what it is. I think a lot of times when it comes to lyrics, is what you go through. Is your adversity, love, loss, love found, everything. So whatever her emotions were giving her, I think the only change would be more of the production when it's all said and done, which again, Jermaine Dupri and the different writers that she was working with at the time. You got Neptunes, they're doing their thing. She brings in a Kanye West. You got all these different people, and then you got the architect that Jermaine Dupri is to pull it all together, understand and recognize the sound that's going on for the the early to mid 2000s. So he's one of the best of all time. So I think you take the vocals, you take up to date production, you put it all put it in the blender together, then you come out with an iconic album that will always be, revered as one of the greatest of all time. So it's again, you have a Mariah who we know who she is. Yeah. So again, you put it all together. She was going to be who she is. She was just able to continue to make music, although it was a 3-year break or a 3-year span between the last album and this album.
Yeah, it was 3 years.
But you're not talking about a 10-year gap. So she's still, she's still in the era. She still has the ear. She knows what she wants. She can hear the sounds of what's going on at the time. So her music genius, and she pairs it with all the other ones. Yeah, it was going to work. It was going to work. It was going to work.
Yeah, Teen, say question. How do you think this album blends Mariah's classic sound with more modern R&B influences, and how would you compare her sound from the 90s to the 2000s?
I say it blends the sound seamlessly. Like I said earlier, like this album was unapologetically R&B. This is a black.
It was
album. Black. Black. I mean,
I love it.
Like, so the biggest difference between this album and the 90s was like in her 90s releases, I would say 90s, early 2000s releases, it was more pop driven, but had little sprinkles of R&B on there, you know,
That's true.
Just to appeal to her quote unquote urban audience, I roll. But you know, this was the music that she always wanted to record, and she just so happened to connect, like you said, Bill, with the best of the best, Jermaine Dupri, Kanye West at that time, the Neptunes, Big James Wright, who is a disciple of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Like, I mean, it was James Poyser and his work with the Soulquarians. Like, it was just the perfect mesh of like, he gave you some old Mariah, but it also gave you the music that she always wanted to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. Byron, same question. How do you think this album blends Mariah's classic sound with more modern R&B influences, and how would you compare her sound from the 90s to the 2000s?
Absolutely. I mean, it held no punches. They knew that everything in Mariah's arsenal was going to be necessary, and it was locked and loaded from soul to R&B, the hip hop, pop, the gospel. So you had a mass appeal with this album, you know, and you know, she dropped little radio friendly treats that, you know, were popular at the time, as you all laid out. You know, you got to have the JD song, got to have the Kanye West song at the time, got to have the Neptune song. But when you get that album and you discover the magic that Jam and Lewis and Jim Wright were doing on this album, because what they did is they brought that timelessness to it.
They did.
Whereas those other songs were of the moment and trendy. Those songs, as a lot of people listed those on this panel as like their favorite songs, they last with you, you know, as Jam and Lewis songs always do. You know, so I think that was the gap that it did bridge, is that you had that 90s Mariah. If you were around, if you weren't around, you got to experience and meet her for the first time in this way. But if you remember, you're like, oh yeah, this is classic. This is classic Mariah right here. You know, but you also appreciated the club tracks and the new producers that were coming forth. And as she's always done, is like she's been able to adapt to whatever you give her. You know, same thing we did with Breakdown when she matched Bone Thugs' flow and their cadence. You know what I mean? Like, she can do it all, and that's what this album takes that versatility, and that's what she did with her voice, and that's what she did with her style, and the rest is history.
I love me some MiMi. Thank you, Byron. Jared, same question. How do you think this album blends Mariah's classic sound with more modern R&B and more modern R&B influences? And how would you compare her sound from the 90s, 2000s? Since you got the shirt of all shirts, you know that's your 90s Mariah. But how would you compare that from 2000s Mariah from the Emancipation MiMi?
Well, the way we can say it connects to her classic sound because it's her. You know what I mean? Like, it's Mariah. Like, we're getting that voice. You know what I mean? So it's classic as it is. You know what I mean? But again, she's able, like you all said on the panel, she's able to now connect to this new generation. You know what I'm saying? Like Byron said, people that was just meeting her on It's Like That and We Belong Together and Say Something and these type of records and Shake It Off, you know what I'm saying? And getting that. It's like, y'all, we've been here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew she could do this. And like T said, this, I think, is an album that Mariah always wanted to do, but couldn't.
Yeah.
She was always pushed. Like, it was always like, yeah, we're pushing her towards that pop lane. That's what we're going to push her to. But this album here, it's like, like, no, this is a straight R&B album for real. It's no cut corners. It's none of that. You ain't getting no pop stuff on here. Well, popular, y'all, but you're not getting any of the soul taken out of any of this because you can't. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot take any of the soul out of any of these records. Even the single, We Belong Together, crossed over every freaking genre. You know what I'm saying? But again, it still has that thickness to it. Can't help it. You know what I mean? But comparing it to 90s to 2000s.
Right.
Oh, God. Steve, like, we all up here experienced that whole 90s Mariah. Like, woo! That was a beast. You know what I'm saying? And the B-sides. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. Like, The Slipping Away or Do You Think of Me? Like, those, those are like, you know what I'm saying? So those are the type of songs that now it kind of reminds me of what she wanted to do with this. You think of me as slipping away could be on Emancipation of MiMi, just because of how thick she is. So again, she wanted to do an album like this, and she finally got the chance to. So you can kind of compare some of the B-sides that she had that never made albums for real, and then obviously add them to the fantasies and the honeys and the this and the that. You can add it all to this, and you get that. So again, it's not like Mariah did anything different. It was like now what she wanted was completely on Front Street. It was no labels. It was none of that. Like L.A. Reid was just like, go to JD and them, do what y'all do. But you know what I'm saying? It's something missing. And they added what they added, and it was great. And Mariah wanted this album. That's why, come on, she's sitting like, I'm that bitch. Like, for real. I'm like, I'm her. Like, y'all, I am that. Like, I did what I needed to do, and that's just what it is. And that's why I just think this album is nothing different that Mariah fans knew she couldn't give. You know what I mean? Like, we knew this. Like, it was like, come on, like, you listen to it, it's like, man, this is Mariah, man. That's why when I listen to this album now, I go back to Slipping Away. That's why when you brought it up, Byron, I was like, no,
that's
you
my
didn't.
cut. That's
like,
my cut.
no, you didn't. You know what I mean? Like that. And then Do You Think of Me is my second favorite Mariah song, period. So that could have fit on here. So Mariah did a thing on this. And that's why you can kind of compare, because it wasn't like she did anything different on this album. It was just, this was Front Street, and the other stuff that we loved and because was put to the back. So that's it. It was nothing different to me. So that's all.
Renee, second question. How do you think this album blends Mariah's classic sound with more modern R&B influences? And how would you compare a sound from the 90s to the 2000s? Since I know you're a diehard, just like you and Byron. How do you compare?
So I did a little table, but and I had a little note. So MC or MiMi never sacrifices her voice, right? So in the 90s, she was more so proving that I could sing with the best of them. But in 2000s, I know who I am. So I'm going to say it my way, right? So from the 90s, we went from having like the lush multi-octave, right? Gospel influence. 2000s, I'm reading off my table. Still a powerhouse, right? But a bit more controlled, right? The production, we have more big ballads in the 90s. We still have that in the 2000s, but it's more of a sleek R&B, more hip-hop collabs, more radio, right? The persona in the 90s, very angelic, girl next door. And then we have more so in the 2000s, free and flirty, right? Sexy. Right, with our themes, we had loving, longing, heartbreak, and we still have the same thing, but there's a bit more maturity and edge to it.
I agree with that. I agree, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like,
damn, Renee.
I can look. She's a lamb on lamb.
Killed that girl.
She did. Look, you know, I'm not finna argue with no doggone lamb. Not finna cut me in the
at all.
Never. I do have to agree with everybody in the chat.
I was waiting for it.
You know what's funny? Even though I met Mariah in like '95 with One Sweet Day, I loved it, but I loved her in her like hip hop R&B, because I loved her in Honey, because I was like, oh, she's versatile. Like, you know, she does this and ballads and stuff. But I feel like, to me, with that '90s when Mariah went through, like, you know, she can get the best of them, like, you know, Renee said. But I feel like with 2000, when Mariah came with Emancipation of MiMi, like she said, I am the queen of this shit. And when I seen that, I was like, damn. I was like, she never stopped. She never stopped with her high vocals. You know, she's like one of the queen of whistles registers. So I'm not going to get mad at that. I just feel like it was just more edgy, like Renee said. But I think really and truly, once she got away from Thomas Holland and just did her own thing, I just saw Mariah that I love. And like I said, I always love Mariah as a ballad girl, but when she does hip hop, I love her hip hop and R&B, because I'm just like, I love Mariah in this thing. But I was just saying, to me, the sound didn't really change. It's just with her, she just wanted, I think she was just doing her. And I wasn't mad at that, because it worked. So I'm like, even though everybody, you know, like Charmbrace, I do like Charmbrace, especially Make It Through Right Now. I love that. But I feel like with the D cuts, with the Emancipation of Me, I really got to know, like, ooh, this is Mariah. Like, I never got to know Mariah. Like, I know Brandy, but I'm like, ooh, I like Mariah like this. So when I got to know her like that, I'm like, okay, I got to give her a chance. And ever since then, I just been loving her music ever since. I mean, I loved in the 90s, but like when I got the Emancipation, I was like, ooh, like MiMi is bad. Like, this is me. Love me.
And I think too, like for me, and I forgot to say this when you asked, I think in the 90s, Mariah was like, I gotta prove that I'm talented to y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I gotta prove that I'm talented to y'all. Like, okay, y'all, because the one thing I love about Mariah in her early interviews, one thing Mariah was like, I'm a singer, but I'm a songwriter. I want y'all to know that I write songs. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is with her. So she was proving to everybody her talent. By the time she got to the 2000s, it's like, what the hell am I proving? I've done it.
Yeah.
I have nothing to prove. So now I'm going to do it my way. You know, I'm going to do it how I want to. You know what I mean? And I think that's why we got the emancipation of MiMi of what we did. Because, again, she had nothing to prove. This, even if it didn't do what it was supposed to do, it was for her. It was like, I did this for me. There was nobody telling me this is too urban. Because y'all know if you read the book, that's all she heard. Her whole career. This is too urban. This is too urban. She had to fight to do the ODB remix. She had to fight she wanted Q-Tip on Dream Lover. They said no. Like, it's like a lot of things. And I'm like, do y'all know this girl is from Long Island? She's a New Yorker. She loves hip-hop. Like, you can't deny that. But Tommy was just like, I'm going to, he was basically Whitney in her. And I think that's what the problem was with the thing of the little beef with her and Whitney. It wasn't a beef, but it was a little bit because it's like, that's her. I'm not her. I'm me. You know what I mean? And everybody was looking at, the voice and the octaves and the this. And it's like, y'all, I write my own songs. Like, I'm talented. Like, I'm really in the producer chair. Like, y'all not seeing this. You know what I mean? But then it was just like the 2000s. She said, look, Mariah started wearing what she wanted. It started with Butterfly, for real.
It did.
I'm going to wear what the heck I want to wear. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to drink how I want to drink. I love it when she sip on her champagne. I'm here for it, Mariah. Do it as many times as you want, girl.
And I'm a single but my beat.
Come on.
I'm going to do
she
that.
She gave you the roof. Okay.
And she said,
like, come on, yo. Like, she's that girl. Like,
taking me higher. I'm listening and I like it.
So I think that's what I miss. I just think she in the 90s she had a lot to prove because all the girls that she had to go against. The trend, Celine, Whitney, and Mariah. Those were the girls. That was it. Like, so she was
Trinity,
like, okay, what is spreading me apart? They are really concerned because we know Whitney and Celine didn't write. Mariah did, but they didn't focus on that. They focused on the voice, and that was it. And it's like, y'all, hello, I'm a songwriter, but now you get this thing here. She said, this is all me. I did what I wanted to do. I wrote all the songs. I produced all the songs. I did all this. I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of the difference between the 90s and 2000s students.
JR, I like what you said about Mariah being hip hop. Like you said, this girl's from Long Island, New York. She was born in the 70s, so she came up at a time when hip hop was starting to blow up. So she knew the music. She was immersed in the culture. So why wouldn't you expect her to want to have hip hop artists on her songs? It makes sense. Yes, she can blow, but she also is a fan of the genre. Why not? But
they wanted her to be something else.
Yeah, Columbia wasn't having it.
This is weird to me, but I'm happy she's, and like me and JR have always said, authenticity works. Because it's records like Never Say Never and the Confession. It's just like certain ones that work when it's not politics involved.
Sure Never Say Never in there, right? Okay,
I think I thought out there is authenticity, but I just feel like when it's authentic and it's true, it hits the masses, and that's why I say like I always reiterate, like Renee, even though we know Mariah's like hip hop and heavy and stuff like that, for her to hit the South, I'm like, wait a minute, y'all, we not even Mariah fans. How did y'all resonate with this album? Like, it was, I've never seen nothing like it. Was a phenomenon. Like, it was huge.
Yeah, it really was.
So for her to be from up north and us in the South, we just bow down to Mariah. I was like, damn, Mariah is really that bitch. Like, yeah, she that girl. She definitely that girl.
And then she was singing. That's the difference. She was singing, y'all. Like, it started to be more about the production for these new girls.
True.
And keep it real. Like, it was the production. So finally us, as music heads, it's like, Mariah, we know she got this. And then she's giving us the hit production too. It's like, I knew y'all Mariah fans was like walking proud, like what? What's up, Ashanti girls? Hey, Ashanti girls. What's up with y'all? Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all was walking with y'all head proud. Like,
JR, she was hitting hardcore girls. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. Mariah got the hard, like, hood, hard, like Byron, hood girls.
Hood girls.
What? How you got the hood singing "We Belong Together"? That don't make sense.
They all been there. They all been there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think Mariah came back to show y'all there's a separation between me and y'all.
Ooh. Absolutely.
I mean, exactly. There is a separation between me and y'all.
That's the lane. Yeah. That's the lane. Yeah,
y'all.
This not goodies. This is not.
I'm not a studio singer. This ain't studio singing over here.
Yeah. I don't need I don't need no audio engineers to make. Oops, did I say that?
Y'all talk about me.
Right. Y'all talk about me, and y'all look what y'all doing. All right.
There's only a few of us that can be inside this house.
It's no lies, the truth. Right, we're gonna go to You My Love. So the album had 2 versions with the re-release adding Don't Forget About
It. 1, 2, 3. 3 releases.
Yeah,
ultra platinum. Come on, autograph.
Okay. You're showing off now. Put it away.
3.
Oh, Byron gonna have it, honey. Don't play with him. He gonna have it. So I want to ask you, Brian, how do you feel about Don't Forget About Us being placed in Mariah's catalog, and do you think it was smart enough for them to re-release this album?
Absolutely.
I agree.
I mean, if y'all like me, I looked at my CD player when Fly Like the Bird was done, and I said, "That's it." I wanted more. I wanted more of that.
Yes.
You know, so I'm glad they were shared. You know, it was an unfinished song, and L.A. Reid pushed for them to push the album back out with this, finish it up. You know, go back in there with John Tay, go back with JD, and finish this song up. And I'm so glad they did. As we just talked about, you know, sick production, but that voice on this song does things that no other song on the radio was doing. And again, followed the same formula that was similar to We Belong Together, but it worked. But it worked. You know, and the same big note at the end that, you know, I run out of breath doing. You know, but it extended the shelf life of this album.
It did.
And it became her 17th #1 song for good reason. She sang the hell out of this song. And it's, again, a relatable topic that you can interpret based on your own situation and your own life, that whatever happened in your relationships, you could put it into this song and remember that person and see their face. But I say ride the wave. This was MiMi's season.
Did. She sure did.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Same question. The album had 2 versions with the re-release of adding Don't Forget About Us. How do you feel about this song in its place in Mariah's catalog?
I'm like you, Byron. Like you said, rode the wave. I wrote that in my notes. So I said we're still riding the wave of the success of the previous singles. So the timing was absolutely perfect. I always call this song the B-side of We Belong Together. Like,
it is.
If you were gonna for all you kids out there, if you were gonna press the 45, the A side would be We Belong Together, and the B side, would be Don't Forget About Us. Like, it was perfect. The album was already hot. Like, it basically reignited an even hotter album and made the album just kind of stay out there. People that didn't necessarily catch it the first time. It's like, okay, well, here it is. I got more. And the one thing I appreciated about this
I do too.
The one thing I appreciate about this Deluxe album, because y'all know that Deluxe album era, like some of them songs they would put out there, man, like these songs are trash.
Don't start.
Us just confessing Deluxe.
I don't know.
We not gonna talk.
I don't even know why you brought that up.
We not gonna talk about I'm sorry. Shine. No collect calls from Shine.
Okay. Anyway.
You're gonna want me back.
Yeah. I digress. But like I was saying, man, like this song, all the songs that were on the Deluxe side of on the Deluxe album could have been on the original.
I agree.
I mean, those songs just fit. They fit perfectly.
But you went out and bought it again.
Yeah,
had it all this time.
Exactly.
Bought it again.
You went and bought it again.
True.
Yeah.
Make no damn sense. Bill, same question. How did you feel about the adding of "Don't Forget About Us" in Mariah's catalog?
Like you said, that's the B-side. It's you could just call it the such and such remix or the 90s mix, or you know how they make a song, they call it the soul mix.
Yeah.
Them are the same song, but
Part 2.
Them are the same song, but I'm gonna put it in rotation. I'm gonna make some more money, and I'm gonna keep my album, keep it floating on. So follow this again. Same hi-hat, same that so dev production. Same thing. But
And I forgot to add in too, guys. I forgot "We Belong Together" was the #1 song on BET's Top 100 countdown of 2005. So it was the #1 song of the year. I did not know that, but I was not surprised. So she did dominate the year of 2005. But I agree, Bill. It is the B-side, y'all. It's the B-side. It's the B-side of "Don't Forget About Us."
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, we not going to even deny that. Renee, same question. So as a Lamb, how do you feel about "Don't Forget About Us" and the place in this catalog?
It always needs to be on MiMi's catalog.
Amen.
Emotional twin to "We Belong Together" because it's telling the story. I'm still longing. Like, we belong together, but babe, don't forget about the shared history. So I need you to remember, don't forget about us, right? And then I like the little Jadakiss mix because that was very New York of her. And I also like making it last all night. I was playing that in the summer like it just came out. I did not care. I was playing that song all the time because she was doing that little play on the Jodeci song. So I was like, you need to release that, making it so nice because my heart is
beating. Queen of Mermaids.
Come on now.
Stop playing. I love that. JR, how do you feel about this song, "Don't Forget About Us" being placed in Mariah's catalog?
I'm happy because somebody you just put it up. I love this more than I do "We Belong Together." Just me.
Facts.
I love "Don't You Forget About Us." Like, I love, even though like we were saying "We Belong Together" doesn't get old, whatever, but that record to me, the way it just comes in, don't baby, like it just, like the way it just comes in, like you ready to sing along to it for real. And when it came out, I was just like, wait, this ain't a part of the album. Oh, I need to go get it. Like, I need to go get this. So I went and I got it. So I got that. And then I got the vinyl too. Like, what? Like, I made sure, even though I love Emancipation to MiMi, I do. But I had to have my vinyl with "Don't Forget About Us" on it. I'm sorry. I had to. Like, the original is cool. Don't get me wrong. Yes. But "Don't Forget About Us" is the one for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
one.
it just hits just different. You know what I mean? And then again, her swag on it. Mariah's swag this era was freaking nuts. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
yeah.
You know what I mean? And she just, all of that, you know what I'm saying? That chicory, like, she's doing shit like that. It's like, she was like,
you do it like me.
Yes. And it makes, and you know what? Yeah, you know what? And see, you know what? You hit it on the nail. This is the B-side. And you know what? That's why I'm saying it makes sense because of what you're saying, like with the references with other songs. She referenced them Franchise Boys on "Don't Forget About Us." I'm like, damn. I'm like, why she doing? I'm like, okay, she's signed hip hop. But I say for me, because this song holds a lot of special place in my heart, was New Year's Eve of 2005 when we actually played this song. Me and my family. I said, wait a minute. We finna play "Don't Forget About Us." Everybody, when I say mine, we had the men and women sing. I'm not the man.
I know it.
The man? We always "Don't Forget About Us" on New Year's Eve. We was bringing in this song with Mary J. Blige, "Be Without You."
Yes.
That was December,
These two songs right here brought in the new year of 2006 for all my family. So this holds a special place in my heart because some people unfortunately have passed away 2 years after that. So when I think about "Don't Forget About Us," y'all, I think about that time when we had the New Year's party where some of them were drunk. I was 15. I was not doing all that. But for us to be turned up for Mariah Carey, "Don't Forget About Us," I'm like, wow, this really, really holds a special place. Like, Mariah really reigned supreme in 2005. And I feel like this was perfect. It's better. And I hate to say it, I'm like, Jared, I love this more than "We Belong Together." I do.
Yeah, Chaz, it's so funny you said that. This song went #1 on December 31st, 2005.
Stop playing. Are you serious?
This when that song went number 1.
No, boy, stop playing. You really serious?
This one hit. Thanks to you.
No.
Wow.
No, thanks to my family, because I'm
crazy.
like, y'all bumping this like, yeah, we finna bump. We don't forget about us. I'm like, oh
That's
my,
when it
and we
hit.
all sung it. We all sung it and cut up on New Year's Eve. That's how Mariah was. Like, she resonates with everybody. The hood, pop, white, black. She just like universal in my personal opinion. That's why we love Mariah. That's why I think this album resonates so much, because Mariah to me is everything what an artist is. She sings, she writes, she produces. She's multifaceted, and I think with Emancipation of MiMi, it showed her freedom. And I said it earlier in the show. I feel like this is triumphant. I didn't even think.
Oh, absolutely.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I was like, I really came out my mouth, but I'm like, I love this album, but I didn't think how it meant to her. Like you lambs, like Byron and Renee, like. I see listening to y'all as a fan, I'm like, wow, she really, really put her heart and soul in this album. Like, she really did. Like, damn, she did. Oh,
funny anecdote, in New York, they have the subway performers, and I remember these I'll never forget, because it was so crazy. These hood girls that you talked about, your sister. They decided to sing this. They decided to sing this on the train, and I just remember cracking up because they didn't know the words, but it resonated with them. They were like, don't do it, don't do it, no, don't do it, don't.
That's how you know Mariah got the hood on lock. These girls, the hardcore girls, know Mariah.
I'm gonna still give you $1, but that's not the word.
Yeah, play with her. Yes, Neltron, that was Say Something. That was a Say Something video. That was Say Something. Yeah, that's the video you talking about. Yeah, that's another one I like too. I did like that single too. I think that was like, it was slowed down a little bit, but once she got Don't Forget About It, she was like, oh, no, I'm coming back with number 1 single. So thank you, girl.
Yeah,
thank you. Okay, so now number 9. So Renee, I'm gonna start with you first. How do you think the Emancipation of MiMi influenced Mariah's career in the years that followed?
I mean, it still cemented her as being that legend, right? Even though they want to have a lukewarm reception with Charm Bracelet. But, this just reintroduced to the new generation. And it gave her the freedom to experiment again. Right? She reclaimed her narrative as MiMi. To the new girls that I'm still here. It's not the rest of the girls, because I like their music too. But this is still MiMi, and she can hold her own lane.
Amen, baby. You don't play about that. Let me stop, because I'll cut somebody over that album. Don't play with her.
Billboard dominance, okay?
Don't play with her. Do not play with Mariah D. Carey. Do not play with her. Bill, same question. So I want to ask you, how do you think that the Emancipation of MiMi influenced Mariah's career in the years that followed?
I think it allowed her to continue to be free. I can like Renee said, I can experiment with my music. There's nothing holding me back anymore. Like, what else do I have? I don't have anything else to prove. Like,
damn.
What else can I've sold millions of records.
That part.
I'm one of the best voices to ever be on the planet. I'm a writer. What else? Outside of that, what do you give a person who already has everything?
Everything.
Come on.
Correct.
You continue to let them just be. They recreate things. They find new ways to do things. So she was free. She was allowed to now do what she wanted to. No restraints.
I love that. That made me teary-eyed. I love that. How do you think the Emancipation of MiMi influenced Mariah's career in the years that followed?
So when we think of legendary R&B divas, like they're always known by one name: Aretha, Patty, Whitney, Janet, Mariah. Like she falls in that category. And then like after her, you got Beyonce. Like I mean, to me, like it's just like you said, Bill. It just sort of gave her the push. Renee, same thing, to continue to be unapologetically, authentically herself. And this album was authentically Mariah Carey. Also, just to say this, like piggyback off that, she also had the team around her now to push her to do that music as well. Like she would go with them let's run with it, let's do it. Like she had the cred to be able to create that music as well. So they sort of pushed her into that next phase of her career. Shout out to L.A. Reid, man.
Yeah, he was genius for that. Byron, same question. How do you think the Emancipation of MiMi influenced Mariah's career in the years that followed?
Sure. I think it gave her, first of all, she owed us nothing after this album.
Yeah, she did.
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
But it gave her permission to really follow her heart when it comes to pushing her sound forward. But it also allowed her to explore other avenues outside of music, right? So this album was a confidence booster for all of us, but it also made her, I think, go back and say, I actually like acting, and glitter wasn't so bad. So I'm gonna go.
Loved it.
That's why she can say. It's why she can say yes. You might go, Renee.
Okay,
It's why she can not just fall on that. Say, okay, I'm gonna say yes to like a Precious, and I'm actually gonna be pretty good in this, and I'm gonna release I'm gonna do other things like release fragrances, do all that stuff. But she also could now step into a more confident person in her music with like Touch My Body, and the diss tracks with like Obsessed, and even leading with a Get the F Out song for Caution. Like this old Mariah would never do this stuff. Again, but what does she have to lose at this point? She makes millions every Christmas. She giving you decades worth of hits in the past. Who is she doing this for? Just live your life and just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the joy ride.
Come on, yes, she is enjoying that ride with Anderson .Paak.
I think she spent so much.
I'm not going there with your ass. Look, I knew you was gonna say that.
Walk so Joyride could run.
Hello. Because that's amazing song, by the way. Yeah. But I think she finally felt validated, and I think she spent so much of the 90s questioning and not sure, because she was told what to do so much that at this point, there was nothing that you could tell her. She was in her own element. And she also had a whole new flock of fans and lambs that were like on her and supporting her to do whatever she wanted to do and to test new things out, because the music was very experimental at the time. People were trying to figure it out, and there was so much more you had access to as far as music. You weren't just pigeonholed to whatever was on the radio. So I think it allowed her just to spread her wings even more.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And JR, how do you think the emancipation of MiMi has influenced Mariah's career in the years that followed?
I agree with everybody. I think it gave her the freedom to kind of do what she wanted to do. But then on another thing, I think that also now that she was with Def Jam too, politics started to play a role once again, because now they wanted a "We Belong Together" every time. And it was like,
as they always
you're not gonna get that. It was just a moment, let that moment be that. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, when she came out with MC Squared, y'all know that they wanted that "Bye Bye" to be that "We Belong Together."
I loved it.
And it was like, no, that was a moment. Let that moment be, and that's it. You know what I mean? But again, like y'all said, she was able to kind of experiment. She working with T-Pain. You know what I'm saying? She working with the Dream. Like, she working with all these people that she could have never worked with if Tommy was still there. You know what I mean? She had to, like I said earlier, she had to mess around and like, I want to work with Dave Paul. Can I please work with him? Like, beg, like, can I please work with the guy? Let me work with him. But this one, she was working with who she wanted to. But it's just like, now it was just like, now we belong together every time. Like, it was like when Bye Bye came out, it was like, this is going to be her 19th number one. Watch. It's going to be. And it didn't. You know what I mean? And it was like, Mariah was at the point, was like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all said I had a comeback. I did it. So now it's all about what the heck I want to do. Because you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sorry, y'all. For real, for me, I love Memoirs. I love that album down. For real. I love what
Candy Bling.
I love that album for real. And I don't think she would have been able to, the freedom that she had just to make an album like that. You know what I mean? And it's just, for that, it's just like, this album, this Emancipation really gave her freedom. And musically, that's what she did. So if she want to do an album, hey, you know what I mean? If she wants to do a Merry Christmas to you, you know what I mean? You know that. What's the album after that, y'all?
When Christmas comes, it's crazy.
Square Garden, and I loved it.
What's the album with the joint with Miguel on it and
I am Mariah, the elusive chanteuse.
That's right in there. That's some diva shit for you.
Yeah.
Now you know
the lambs on them. And
I'm gonna release an album like that and be diva and all I want to. Like, that's the kind of shit that she can able to do. So Emancipation gave her that freedom, and I'm happy for that. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, when she stepped on the stage, look at the ensemble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's her.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
I'm here for it. Like, you know,
I be falling out when she be in the pool with them gowns. I said, Mariah, really, girl? I said,
only her.
Only her. She don't know get away with it.
I love it.
Yep.
The dramatics. But the only thing I could just say about it, and it just ties into what y'all just said, it just really just for me, it made me love Mariah even more as a personal person. But I think Mariah, for her, I was just happy to see her just always be who she is. I mean, just the songbird queen. I would say, like I said, I love MC Square, especially Stay in Love with You. I'm a ballad person, so I like Mariah and her ballad bag. Even though she gave me another We Belong Together, Don't Forget, I'm like, okay, I still love her. She got her ballads. But I think for me, Mariah said, she's 35 years in. I'm not mad at Mariah at all. The girl, just do you. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your twin. Because you on their Twitch and stuff like that, girl, but that should be a mom. And I love that. But at the end of the day is you still do you and enjoy yourself. But I think the Emancipation of MiMi just her to be who she is, Mariah, aka MiMi. So I'm mad at it. Okay, so now this question right here, number 10. I'm gonna pick one of the lambs first. So either Byron or Renee. Which one of y'all want to go first on this question? You want Renee to go first? Do you want to go last?
Absolutely.
You sure?
Yeah, but I'll let Renee first. Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, Renee. So you like the queen, like you part of the queen of lambs. Queen of lambs. You the Mariah diva, darling. So I wanted to ask you, since this is Mariah Carey's number 10 album in her catalog, do you think that this is Mariah Carey's best album in her catalog?
This is so disrespectful. I'm out.
Honestly, when someone says that, I feel like that is depending on them and what the album means to them. It's in my top 3. Right, so I like Music Box. That's my number 1. And then you can come in with Butterfly, and then MiMi is number 3 because you can show the evolution of MiMi that way. So I'm going to speak for myself, but I cannot speak for all the lambs. So don't be lambs. That's my top 3 that I'm going to go with. Yes, that's it.
So you think Music Box is her best in her catalog?
That's what I like.
Understandable. And I think you said the last time you said you always said Music Box. You love Music Box. All right, so let me see him spin around. I'm trying to get the TT. I'm going to you. So since this is Mariah Carey's number 10 album, do you think this is the best album in Mariah Carey's catalog?
Oh man, why you ask me that?
I had to go. I'm the last. He's the last. He's gonna end it out.
All right, so
yes, because he's gonna drop the mic. I know.
All right, so I have a Mariah 1A and 1B album. Damn. So this is 1B for me. 1A is Daydream.
Wow.
I think it's because of the timing of it, because that's when I was really getting heavy into music, like the mid 90s. So that album, man, that album is so special to me. But like this one is sort of the same, sort of kind of fits in that same vein, because I was sort of transitioning from college student into adulthood and then into marriage. So like these were important times in my life. So that's kind of why I associate these albums the way I love those albums the way I do. So this would be like my second favorite Mariah album. My favorite is Daydream.
Wow. And Amar says Butterfly is his number 1, followed by the Emancipation of MiMi and then Daydream. I hear that a lot of lambs love some Butterfly. I'm like, wow, y'all really, really love the album. Y'all really love the album.
You got to.
All right, so I'm going to you, Bill. Since this is Mariah Carey's number 10 album in her catalog, do you think this is Mariah Carey's best album in her catalog? And you know she's going to watch you, so you better be good.
Hey, man. Probably I would say either this or like T said, Daydream. That mid-90s sound, her working again with what's that? Escape.
Yep.
Always Be My Baby and Fantasy. So it's errors. I would probably say that may be her biggest album as far as everything that encompasses everything with music. But I definitely would have it probably like tie, flip flop, throw a coin between that and Daydream, whatever it falls on. That's number 1. So it could be number 1 today. It could be number 2 tomorrow, or number 2 tomorrow. So yeah, I would say 1, 2.
Wow, I'm happy as everybody's in their top 3. I would have never thought it would have been in top 3 for a lot of people's catalogs because I didn't know a lot of people. I know I love it, but I didn't know now, being with the show, and I know Renee and Byron, I know them very well. So, but like hearing from you, I'm like, wow, everybody really, really love this album. Okay. Thank you. Well, you can't tell
that album was everywhere.
But you can't tell this new generation, y'all. They think Mariah I'm like, y'all know. If you weren't there, don't speak. Please don't speak to
it. So Bill and I were talking about Daydream. This is how big Daydream was. Like this was when I was in high school playing JV football, and you had a bus full of football players singing Fantasy. The ODB remix.
Yeah.
Like that's how big that album and that song was. Like, that's like one of my core memories from high school, man. Mariah pinned that girl.
Please don't
you can't play Fantasy. You have to play that version though. Like that's the real version. That's the real version. That's not a remix version. That's the real version.
That's the real version.
That's the real one. I'm sorry. JR, so you my love. So this is Mariah Carey's number 10 album. Do you think this is Mariah Carey's best album in her catalog?
Well, it's in my top 3. Obviously, we know what number 1 is for me. Is Emotions for sure. That's number 1 for me. I think that album is just she was starting to come into her own, you know what I mean, with Emotions for me. And just what she did on it and everything about that. And then 2 is Butterfly for me. Like that was her first, to me, Emancipation for real. The first.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
That was the first. It was like she was finally finding who she was. You know what I mean? And when we got, she still was connected to Tommy, unfortunately, in some of those songs for real, because she was still working with Walter, just saying. But at the end of the day, it just felt like she did, like Renee said, she did The Roof, like over a Mobb Deep beat. Like, come on, like Tommy had to fight to get Fantasy. So you really think you can now do The Roof? Then she's working with Missy. She's working with Stevie J. She's working with Bad Boy. Like, she's working with all of these different producers at that time. And then to me, then you get to Emancipation. I think these 3 albums to me is really like, you can see her journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, that first album is just her singing for her dear life. Even though she sings the record, but she's just singing. She like, y'all, I want to show y'all that I can sing. To me, Emotions was like, yes, I am an artist. I am this. I'm doing more than Puffy. I'm turning knobs. I'm actually producing. Just saying. But, but again, she's that. And then when we got to Butterfly, it was like, I'm spreading my wings a little bit more. I'm adding that more hip-hop flavor. But I still got to give y'all the, whenever you call. And I still got to give you that. And I got to still give you the Walter stuff that we love. But then when you got to Emancipation, none of that. None of that. No, none of that. This is all what I want. That's what it is. So that's why those 3 albums are in my top: Emotions, Butterfly, and Emancipation. But as the best album, that's kind of tough because, like Renee said, it's just how you feel. To be honest, you got so much bodies of work. You can't just say that's the best one. You know what I mean? Like, she just don't have 5 albums. It's like, okay, we can pick. Yo, this girl dropped this album. She's album number 10. Yeah. You don't got people that even do that many. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for her, it's like, that's a hard one. So I think it definitely comes down to what your tops are. Like your top.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I think for me, it's gonna be a yes for me because it resonates with me so much because of I knew Mariah in the 90s, yes, from Honey and all that stuff like that. But I think I really, really fell in love with Mariah with this. And I think because it resonated with my family and just being around here in Louisiana, like I said, we're so deep in the South, we don't really listen to, we listen to up north from time to time, but I think when Mariah came with this, it's like, oh no, you're going to listen to me and me only. And I was like, dang, I was like, okay. And then for my sister to resonate with it, and I'm like, wait a minute, she's a hip-hop head. Like, she like hardcore rap. So I'm like, why is she listening to We Belong Together? Girl, you don't like Mariah? But it threw me because I was like, wait a minute, Mariah's hitting certain people. So I'm like, okay, she been like that, but now I'm seeing it in my home space, and I'm like, I love R&B, but to see my sister with it, I'm like, oh, this is something different. And I think we belong together, like JR said. It just resonated with everybody. And I think, even though, like I said, Mariah got me through that Heartbreak and stuff like that, and learning about her catalog, I love Butterfly, and I'm starting to love too, I think maybe Fantasy, maybe. So it's kind of in that realm, but I love Emancipation of MiMi. I will go hard from this album forever and a day, because for me, I got to see MiMi. That's for me. It was MiMi. And I think forever it will always resonate. And I think with Katrina and all the stuff that she did for us for New Year's Eve, it was just like, yeah, Mariah is here to stay. She ain't going nowhere. She is the queen of music, one of the queens of music. So I was just like, yeah, Mariah did that. So, guys, I can't believe. So this year is the 35th anniversary of her career. Since now we are officially done with the Emancipation of MiMi. Do you have any last words?
I didn't get to answer.
Yeah.
Wait.
Forgot about Byron.
They keep waiting.
That's I was waiting.
I messed up
the mic drop moment, because you know Byron about to drop hits. What?
Yeah, because hold on. I got to get the king of this, because he gonna drop a hand grenade on my ass. So I gotta make sure. Hold on, Byron. I apologize. Wait a minute. So,
no worries,
this is album number 10. And you were there. You were there. So I need to ask you, do you think this was Mariah Carey's best album in her catalog?
Short answer, no.
Damn.
No,
okay.
But you know this. I will die on the hill that Butterfly is the greatest Mariah LP of all time.
He does.
It's poetry, it's songwriting, the vocal delivery is something that I'll always cherish. But I agree with you, Renee. It's where you are in your life. And like you said, Chastity, that Emancipation was your entryway to Mariah, and where you really started listening. But Butterfly is, to use Mariah terms, is my nostalgia. So a great album renders you different. It shapes you, but also connects you to that artist forever. I was 13. I was 13 when Butterfly came out, and I was 21 when Emancipation dropped. And they both formative, like, milestone years. But there's nothing like your first time. And Butterfly was so brave at the time and autobiographical. And at first, a glimpse of her being free.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I saw her, but I also felt seen through that album as someone who felt different than others. So, but for so many who were coming into themselves in 2005, Emancipation was their entry point to Mariah. And that served as like a blueprint for self-liberation. And I can't take that away from their experience. But at the end of the day, we all Lambly. And that Butterfly is my favorite record.
That part.
Oh my God. I was kind of sad because, look, I'm like, I go forever day talk about the Emancipation of MiMi, because it just means so much. But not even just that, because I have two diehard lambs in here. I know I was just ready to hear the daggers. I'm like, I'm ready to hear what y'all got to say, because I know how much y'all love y'all albums. But I was like, I wonder how they feel about the Emancipation of MiMi. But I think, Byron, for you to be there, it tells us so much of a story how that was in the time, especially in New York. Like I said, I'm in the South, so I'm just like, I don't know how it is in different states. Like, how is everybody resonating with this album? But I feel like for me, Mariah, like I said this earlier, for her to be 35 years in, I mean, she will forever be an icon and a legend.
Yes.
And like they asked her the question, is she a diva? I said, Mariah, girl, you are definitely a diva. But I want to ask this too. How did y'all feel about the K-Tronada remix of Don't Forget About Us? How did y'all feel about it?
Smooth.
Yeah. I love it.
It's so smooth. Yeah.
I thought she was going to put somebody in it.
Oh.
She didn't, though. She just put
I was glad she didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't need anybody.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
And this, and I take this a little, I was just like, this is what I want Janet to do, what Mariah does. When Mariah comes and celebrates an album, an anniversary, she connects to the current generation to do something. So it can connect to this. So I'm like, yo, like, Janet, why didn't you release If with K-Tronada? That would have been dope, like, for this generation to connect. So Mariah is like, okay, I know K-Tronada is like that. You know what I'm saying? Let him do a remix for the celebration of the 20th anniversary. Like, that is brilliant to me. And it's smooth and it's dope. Yeah. You know what I mean? So whoever is these new K-Tronada fans is like, Mariah Carey, whoa. I know my mom and them used to play her. You know how they do us, y'all. My mom used to play us. Blah, blah, blah. So now it's like, yo, let me go check. So again, her connecting to the younger audience. It's brilliant.
That's right.
You know? And I wish our other artists would do things like that because she does that. She does it all the time with this. You know what I mean? So I think that's such a brilliant move, and I love it. I love it because it's so damn smooth. Like smooth.
She just announced, and it's for the vinyl head. She just announced a 5 vinyl LP version of the album that she's putting out in May. So get ready for that. Get ready for that. Yeah,
I'm buying it.
I'm getting it.
Yeah, I have never gotten around.
And it's gonna have the K Tronada remix, and it's gonna have some other remixes.
Oh, but as long as they have that on there, and it's So Lonely with So Lonely part 1, part 2 with Rodney Jerkins, I'm good with that. That's my jam.
Yeah, part 2 is good.
That was my jam. I don't care what nobody says. So I want to ask y'all one more question, the last question. If you had any words to say to Mariah about today for the 20th anniversary of the Emancipation of MiMi, what words would you tell her?
Thank you.
That's
the first word. That's the first 2 words that came to mind. You're right, Renee. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. I would just say thank you for being free. Thank you for being you. That's all we asked for. And when that works, it works.
Yes. You did fly like a bird. You did.
Yeah.
You showed the freedom and you showed what you can do, and that they cannot take that away from you. I'm using some hustle.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you sit up taller and you stand taller when you listen to this album, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of feel a different way when you hear it. You're uplifted from beginning to end. So, so again, thank you for creating that for us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely for sure. All right, guys, and also I want to let y'all know we are coming soon to, I think in June, I'm getting ready to do a 20th anniversary of Keisha Cole's debut album, The Way It Is, baby.
Renee, get ready.
Okay, I want to be there. We're gonna have another chat on that one. That day is gonna be a lot to me for that day. I want to read some stuff. To have a grown up witnessing the different eras of Mariah from the 90s until now has been a blessing. Her music is connected to so many memories and moments. Neltron says amazing show. Shout out to the panel and everyone live in the chat. Montrez, he looked like him. He said, "Did you guys watch or ever heard of Wayne TV? He did a 3-part series of Mariah's career from Glitter to Grammy. He had great
excellent.
I did not know that.
We taken to clocking to
on Calvin Michaels too. Catch what he did, the joint what he did, what happened between Glitter and the Emancipation of MiMi, which I thought was brilliant. He had all the receipts out there, and he was letting it be known, like he said, Mariah is that girl, and that's just what it is.
I need to put this on my watch later. Hold on.
Renee, you would love that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely in. So, guys, y'all have any last words on upcoming shows y'all got going on? What y'all doing with the podcast on y'all platforms? And everybody in the chat, thank you so much. What do y'all have coming up?
All right, so next Saturday, my co-host and I, QG, we are doing a tribute show to LaFace Records and So Def. So check us out. Check us out next Saturday here on YouTube, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be going live. We got a special guest. One of our homeboys will be talking Atlanta. We're gonna try to do a deep dive if time allows, but we're gonna talk about Atlanta pre LaFace and So Def, and then talk about the 90s and kind of go from there. So check us out. And you can find that here on YouTube. Search for us at the Saturday Sitdown.
Yay. Thank you. Anybody else? Bill, you have anything coming up?
We always got something to work. So we got some stuff coming up. Some of y'all get ready for some DMs because
Get
ready for some DMs because
that's right.
I'm around some great musical. Honestly, I love being around great musical minds. Everybody brings their own flair, but one thing about it, everybody knows the music, so they know the genre. So I'm appreciative of that. So I'm glad I'm surrounded myself around some great people. So
listen, the respect is mutual, brother.
Yes, it is.
Know that.
Well,
Jar, you got something?
R&B rap. Y'all know my co-host Naturally Elise. Y'all just check us out. The R&B raps this episode Sunday. We are talking about Johnny Gill's.
I can't wait, boy.
Oh my God. And we're talking about it with Toya Haynes. It's such a good episode, y'all. Oh my God, very entertaining. Like it's so good, and that album is just whoo. Again, to have L.A. Reid, Babyface, and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis on one album, amazing. So please, y'all, check out that. It's at 2:00 Sunday. Jimmy Jam is our friend, and he wanted us to always say Eastern Standard Time. So please, 2:00 Eastern Standard Time, check us out. Just put in the R&B representatives, search for us. We're on Instagram, R&B Reps, Twitter, R&B Reps, if that's what you do. And then follow me, JR's World of Soul on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. But yes, y'all, again, we'll be getting DMs for other stuff because we want y'all to come on the fan culture episode, which Elise told me to talk about our fan culture episode, which we don't like the stan culture at all. You can be a fan, but the stan culture is a little much because your favorite artist is not perfect. So we want to show y'all that in these shows. So we ask y'all like questions that's disappointing about your artist because the artist is not going to be perfect all the time. And when I was on Twitter, I saw it and it was just getting on my nerves. And me and Lise just came together, was like, let's put up some questions to ask people about their favorite artists. And it's been great. Bill has done one. T and Q is about to come on and do one. Byron, you're definitely coming on to do one. I already know 2 people that I want you to do. And Renee, I want you to do somebody too. Yes, I want you to do somebody because I want you to give it. That's the one. That's the one I want you to do. But yeah, so please check us out, man. Fan culture is such amazing, so fun. You know what I mean? To see y'all come off the head with it, it's so fun. So yeah, just check us out, the R&B Reps, for real. And again, love being around y'all. Y'all the best, I swear. I know I was crazy, been nuts, but to know people that's crazy and nutty like me when it comes to music is just amazing. This has been an amazing joint. Just finding all of y'all, man. It's the best thing. My mom know y'all and ain't even met y'all. So it's just you know what I'm saying? But boy, you, ma'am, you talked up for like an hour on the phone.
I surely did.
But like she know all of y'all. So when she see this, she like, oh yeah, that's T, that's Byron, that's Renee, that's Bill. Like she knows y'all. So yeah, this is great. This is great for me. I can drink my liquor too and talk shit. I'm good.
So yeah. Somebody, do you have anything coming up? I know my author Byron has so much amazing stuff. What other stuff do you got coming up?
Absolutely. I'm really excited about this one. It's for the Lambs. I'm excited to announce my latest book called The Vocabulary of MiMi. It is a reference. It is a reference dictionary for anyone who sat by the stereo, pressing play and pause to write down those unfamiliar words that Mariah used to drop in her lyrics. She always had like a special way of vocabulary words, and I know I use them so like vividly emblazoned, incessantly, ominously, hovering, all of those, reverie. I have compiled all those definitions into one book, along with the song titles, the lyrics that you can find the songs, and it drops this week. So that book is going to be available on Amazon this week. So follow me.
I'm getting it.
I'm in there, man. That's dope. I like that.
Gotta support.
Thank you. Follow me at B Rockwell 1984 and support this for the Lambs, y'all.
I can't wait. Do you have the illustration already? I know you do.
Oh yeah, I got all this stuff. Yeah.
So when are you gonna drop it? When is the official date gonna be dropped?
It's gonna be Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I'll circulate it. I'll make sure I get something. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely, because look, I teach. So look, I would love to have that for my kids. They need to know some words, which is not even just that. At the end of the day, it'd be great for that because I think, like I said, music is powerful, but words are powerful too, and we need stuff like that in this era, especially in this age of 2025. The kids now, we just need that for them to know and read and learn and stuff like that. So I just so great. Well, like I said, I may have something coming up in May, but I know in June officially I'll be doing the Keisha Cole 20th anniversary of The Way It Is. She already dropping her, so I knew she was about to start dropping about the album. So that's gonna be coming. I'm gonna do a panel for that, and also in July I'm gonna do the 30th anniversary of D'Angelo's album Brown Sugar. So I can't wait to do that. I can't wait.
30 years already. Good Lord, I'm old.
30. Man, y'all, I should have did Voodoo because I was like, damn, I forgot I should have did Voodoo, but I wasn't thinking, so I was like, I was just thinking about the beginning of his career.
You're doing it right. You're doing it right.
That was the first. That was the first CD I got.
You're doing it right. You're doing it right. You're good.
Chaz, that was the first CD I bought when I got my portable CD player. I went to the Wiz and bought that.
So you gotta talk about
Nobody know about the Wiz. Nobody.
That's what you in here. You gotta talk about that time how D'Angelo impacted, and I need to hear about '95 how it was because y'all look older than me, so I gotta hear from the what's
95 was
Girl.
Ooh, 95.
95 was a good year.
I still owe Columbia House money on that CD.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you paid a penny. You paid a penny.
Yeah,
You so they'll find out where you live. That's it.
I know. Yeah.
They going under.
Well, Renee, do you have anything up, sweetheart? Anything you got coming up or anything of that nature? You know you're a Mariah enthusiast. Look, I know y'all gonna be celebrating the debut, child. I know that's gonna come up.
I wish Mariah, if you're watching this, why you didn't do a 20-year concert? I would have come on the tour. Hello.
Please.
You were Madison Square Garden. I went to the Christmas show 2 years ago, but I need that. That would be lovely.
We need a reunion.
That would have been good.
Mariah giving us 90s vision of love anyway. The way I saw today, I said, oh yeah, she giving us 95. I mean 90. Not 95, but 90. She going back to the beginning. So I see how it is. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the platform, guys. I'm so excited, so happy. And if shout out to Rose God and Culture Party. They are doing the 20th anniversary of the Emancipation of MiMi.
I love them.
Right now tonight from 5 to 9. Make sure y'all go support her and what she does. They play this album from the beginning to the end. So they probably gonna be playing the Deluxe. Tonight or the occasion out, so I know how she is. She always celebrates and stuff, and my girl, she always supports.
Yeah, their full moon party is crazy.
What
the
party?
Full moon party is amazing.
And actually, the fun fact, she actually reposted Rose God's party the time they did. I think the 15th anniversary or something. Not so long ago, they did the party, and Mariah posted. She said, "I wish I was there with my family," and I was like, "Oh!" So Mariah, she watches it, so she sees everything. She knows. Oh, trust, she knows, but. So excited, but thank you guys so much, and I'm so happy, y'all. We are done with this beautiful 20th anniverary of Mariah Carey's number 10 album, my favorite album.
Thank you, Chassie. Thank you.
Thank you, Chassie.
I love you
Thank you, man.
Yeah. I'm a little under the weather, but I was like, look, anything from MiMi, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Chassie, I don't know. I'm probably speaking on behalf of everyone else. I'm gonna say I want to thank you for this platform because. Y'all know this. Y'all that are on Instagram and YouTube, there are a lot of folks who speak music and spew a bunch of BS, and they say things just for likes, shares, and engagement. So, Chastity, I want to give you props for always speaking the truth and bringing the facts and never being loud and wrong. So, thank you for that.
I try not to be because the lambs be cutting me up too. The stand culture cuts up too. So I'm like, no.
It's a mess.
Yeah,
somebody tried to get on me about a date. I said, hold up. I said, our Lisa's date is no. I said, I found it. I know what date it is, but I mean, I understand how people are, but I try to make sure that authenticity and realness works because you have to be with authenticity people as well. So without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I love you all so much. And it's a blessing to have you because I love what we do. And like I said, it's just realness. I just want people to be real, be yourself, be who you are, but have fun. Like, it's just music. You know how it is.
Yeah. And you always connect us. Like, Tino, I hit him up all the time. JR hit you all one time. Renee and Bill, you about to get hit up too.
And I'm so proud of you, y'all. And the way Byron just came in, y'all, and I'm not gonna say too much, but Byron, the way you just came in and what you're going through, I was like, they even shows you persevered, and I'm like, wow, Byron is a beautiful spirit. Y'all make sure always support our people. So even when we all going through stuff, making sure like, hey, you good? I'm like, you okay? Like, we always gotta support each other.
Byron, good for giving me something in the morning. He does.
He does.
I'll be having to get to work, and I'll be like, oh, and then I look at my DM and Byron that sent me something, and I'm like,
I know
thinking about you.
I know damn well you better not get that damn divorce doll from Usher. I saw that shit. I said, don't do that. Usher is getting people divorced, and that's bad.
It's already in my card, girl.
That boy's a menace.
I said, what the hell? I said, I cannot. But guys, I love you guys so much, guys. And we are done with the beautiful 20th anniversary of the Emancipation of MiMi. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good night. And we are done. See ya. Peace.
Bye, guys.